Hello and welcome to This Week in Laker Football. I'm Tyler Beeft, joined alongside West Bloomfield Football head coach Tyrese Grice here on the show. Coach Grice, coming off last week, 18-35, the final score at Rochester Adams for the third consecutive time. You fall against a really tough opponent that it seems to be now the new 1-2 punch at the top of the OAA Red is going to be West Bloomfield and Rochester Adams with Clarkston right there as well. What are some of the key lessons that came out of this game for your coaching staff, but also that you're saying to your guys on the football field to get ready for the remainder of the season and take some lessons from what happened at Adams?
I think one of the biggest lessons we learn is learn to be humble. I think going into this game, we felt that we was prepared, but we just didn't do a good job executing at all three levels. We didn't do well in the kicking game. We gave up the big plays on defense. After watching film, we shut down the running game, but we gave up the big plays. And then offensively, we weren't able to pull, get our offense going like we usually do. They ran 8 men in coverage, so that was hard for our quarterback to read. But it was a lesson learned, a lesson that when you go into these games, you got to come completely prepared, and you can't slack off. It's weekend. Every week is a tough game, so you can't take one game and be high for it. In the next game, you got to low for it. You got to always keep that mindset that everybody's coming to bring their A game towards you.
So what did they do that really broke that plane early on in the game? Because West Bloomfield came out, capitalized on a mistake, took an early lead. It was a tie shortly after that. And then for a while, it was really a back-and-forth matchup between your two teams. Offense maybe not producing for both teams, and at times the defenses for both teams being downright dominant. So where did that dynamic change and Rochester Adams have the chance to take that momentum and really ride that forward?
I think a lot of it had to do with the attitudes of our players and our coaches and how we, when they scored on us, we kind of like, what do we do next? And when the team itself kind of like, we started to disrupt ourselves, and all of a sudden we got penalties. We beat ourselves in a lot of situations. We had a lot of personal foul penalties. Offensively, we dropped a lot of passes, but it was a lesson learned, and we need one of these losses like this so we can get ready for the next game and get ready for the future of the season. So every year there's always, I've been here 11 years now, there was always that one game that we don't do well against an opponent, but as a coaching staff and as a team, we come together, and that really excels us to the next level.
And you mentioned that sometimes teams need to take a loss like that to really figure out who they are, who they need to be champions down the line. What can your team take from that loss, the positives from that game, but also some things to improve on across the board that will make them a stronger team, not just next week, but as they pursue a championship? Well,
we just got to cut down the mental mistakes and the penalties, and more importantly, just come out and execute the game plan. I don't think we did a good job with that. We have guys not doing what they're supposed to do. So we watched film, we straightened some things out, and next week you're gonna see a different team.
Yeah, things don't get exactly any easier from here. Playing the OAA Red Division, one of the toughest in the entire state, going up against a team that's on the comeback trail in Lake Orion under their new head coach, same as their old head coach, Chris Bell, legend out there in Lake Orion. Coming out of the Rochester Adams game, 35-18 loss. Some positives from that game, Coach, that you want your team to continue to capitalize on going forward, especially coming back home for 2 weeks against Lake Orion and Oxford.
Well, I think the positive is we learned we have to realize we have to come together as a team. And I think that's the message has been put out there. I think that's the key, is making sure our players understand that the goal is to win a state championship, but there's a journey along the way, and along that journey you're going to go through ups and downs, and can you persevere? And that was a lesson learned from us, is that can our boys persevere through our adversity? And that was one of the biggest things that we got out of that. So as we move forward, you're going to have some guys score on you. You're going to have some guys, those teams do some things to you. You just got to make sure you keep a level head no matter what.
Coach, appreciate it. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back, talk to a couple of players, and preview this upcoming game against the Lake Orion Dragons. The homecoming game Friday, 7 o'clock. Coverage on CivicCenterTV.com/LakerSports begins about 6 with this show, 6:30 for the Laker pregame show. Big thank you to all of our sponsors for Laker football coverage this year. The Orchard Mall, Premier Pet Supply, the Michigan Week Committee, Ken and Deb Macon, and so much more. You can learn more and you can get involved yourself. CivicCenterTV.com/ads. You're watching and listening to This Week in Laker Football.
Parker Pico and his offense all bunched up. Looks like they want to run the ball here. Fumble! Lakers might have come up with it. Bad snap. West Bloomfield thinks they have it. I do too. We'll wait for the official call. It is turnover, West Bloomfield.
Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield.
Welcome back to This Week in Laker Football. I'm joined by Montel Johnson, West Bloomfield linebacker. Montel, a couple of weeks of really tough games against very formidable opponents. What have you learned, or has the defensive team really learned about what it takes to prepare for some of the best in the state over those last couple weeks? One of those being a win, of course, at home against Clarkston. Last week, that tough loss on the road against Adams.
Some things you need to learn about is building chemistry, because we lack in that area right now. So I think building chemistry will help a lot in the long run, going to the state championship right now. But we're taking it 1 week at a time, so just focus on that right now.
What are some of those steps that you take as an emerging leader on this team and along with the other leaders of this team to build on that chemistry after last week with some of the miscommunication, some of the issues in the locker room, and the way that did ultimately affect the play of the team?
Some steps we take is like bringing each other up. If somebody missed ball coverage or messed something up, you just bring them up instead of being on their head all day, cussing them out and all that stuff. You just bring them up and be a good teammate, be a good leader instead of like just degrading them all the time.
Yeah, it's about taking steps forward after those losses, taking lessons from it, and figuring out the next step forward. As you're preparing for Lake Orion, how are you and the other guys taking those steps to take lessons from the Rochester Adams game, things you did well, and build on those while also learning some things you can improve and really focus on, hone in on for this week against Lake Orion?
Lake Orion is a good team, so it was a good game when they played Adams. So you make sure we're in our P's and Q's against Lake Orion, because they're not a team to play around with. Or if you play around this week, it's going to be the same results as last week, because last week wasn't really locked in, but came back today. The whole team's really locked in. We got that sour taste in their mouth right now, so everybody locked in right now, making sure they do all their assignments right, making sure they do everything right to get the dub.
Joined by Montel Johnson, West Bloomfield linebacker on This Week in Laker Football. Montel, as you become a more pivotal part of this defensive front, how important are these next few weeks for your defensive front, that front seven, particularly the linebacker core, and getting ready to go up against some even tougher competition come playoff time?
It's going to be hard, but during the next couple of weeks, we need to focus on make sure we know our assignments. Like I said the previous time, make sure you know our assignments, because if you make sure you know our assignments, make sure you know what to do all the time, we wouldn't really have a struggle and things like that.
Montel, before we let you go, anything else that you'd like to say, or anything we haven't covered that you'd like to talk about last week or coming into this week and your motivation for Lake Orion?
I'm going to just say one loss don't dictate the whole team. One loss is just one loss. You can build off that. And, that one loss really don't mean anything. So that's all I got to say, really.
We appreciate it, Montel. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you for having me.
Montel Johnson, West Bloomfield linebacker on this edition of This Week in Laker Football. We'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll talk to one of the captains. We'll talk to Jaws. And then we'll preview the upcoming game, homecoming game, Friday night, 7 o'clock, with Lake Orion coming into town. Coverage begins about 6 o'clock with This Week in Laker Football on Civic Center TV.com/LakerSports. We'll be back in a moment watching This Week in Laker Football.
Sweep right. Gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Ball controlled that time by Patera, and he is quickly brought down by the Laker defense.
Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live. local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
If your pet could tell you where you should shop for him or her, it'd be a place run by pet lovers. With hard-to-find food, toys, and gifts, with pet-friendly people and services, and great advice from people who really know pets, it'd be a place where his friends hang out, even that old guy, where there's a surprise around every corner. If your pets could tell you, they'd recommend Premier Pet Supply, but pets can't talk. Or can they? Premier Pet Supply, the place pets love.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road.
Welcome back to This Week in Laker Football. I'm Tyler Keefe, joined with one of the Lakers' captains, running back Kenneth Jones III, or Jaws, as he's also known. As you're coming off of a loss this week, first loss of the season, really tough game on the road at Rochester Adams, and it was interesting to see the dynamics of the team, particularly after the game, discussing that loss and looking forward. So as a captain, and with the other captains on the team too, the leaders of this team, where does that focus shift coming off that loss and really wanting to refocus this team and use that loss as motivation for the continuation of the season?
So, we went through a little adversity. Our main goal is the state championship. We fell short from Adams, from the previous year, and that the results was not kind of how we thought we would have it, So I feel like we just fell short. Our team, our mental was not right. Our whole week of practice wasn't right. So this week, coming forward, we're going to better ourselves and look ourselves in the mirror and, fix all our mistakes.
And so as you're going forward and, you in a leadership position, having played on this team the past couple of years, what have you learned from past leaders about how to react to losses and how to lead the guys behind you on this team, some of the younger guys and even some of the veterans, to get through that and use that adversity as fuel? Right.
So, we had Donovan Edwards as past captains. We had Jordan Hoskins. So, those two great leaders to look up to. So, whenever we lose or anything like that, we can't really get down on our teammates, can't get down on ourselves. So we just got to come back hungrier and better, So it's really our communication with our teammates, getting that chemistry and getting that bond together because, that bond goes a long way. And especially with the coaches and stuff, too. So, it's really building. When you lose as a team. When you win as a team. So we really hit on that. So we're just trying to bounce back and, just grind this whole week and get better for the next week.
We've seen over the past several weeks with this team, even going into the Rochester Adams game and through the Adams game, this offense has become so much more versatile. We're seeing you in the Wildcat formation. We're seeing you as more of a blocking back with Ralph getting some touches, you even in the receiving core as well. Speak to just the talent of this team and the ability for these guys to move around the different positions and the different roles and still be able to make this team thrive on the offensive side.
Right. So, me, Samaj, Dre, Kari, we got chemistry, from previous years and stuff like that. Me, Samaj, and Dre, we played on the Little League together. So, we really know how each other play, So we just hit on, being a playmaker, because, we had previous playmakers coming out through West Bloomfield, As a running back, I look up to Donovan Edwards, Dylan Tatum, and stuff like that. I seen them guys, do amazing things. So I just try to mimic that stuff and try to be better, So.
What do you hope that the younger guys on this team, in the running backs room and even beyond that, take from your leadership and the leadership of this set of captains in 2022?
I hope they can just, look up to me as, a leader. I want them to, lead by example, do the right thing, because the right thing goes a long way, You can't be doing the wrong things, stuff like that, You got to know how to lead the team. You can't be yelling at your teammates, You you got to be calm when you're in tough situations. You know, you hit adversity. Adversity, that's a life situation, so you got to know how to handle adversity. So I just want them, you know, give them 110% of everything they got, you know. Just really the adversity thing, that's really a big thing for me, so yeah.
And as you go forward, as this team goes forward, Lake Orion on Friday, homecoming game, still in the OAA schedule, and you know, it's a tough season. It's a tough way to go after a loss like that at Rochester Adams. How have things changed since Friday, and what really has been the vibe at practice and in team discussions and team meetings leading up to this game on Friday and looking forward instead of backwards?
You know, it's really a reality check. You know, we had a meeting today, so Coach Grice, you know, he brought the team together. He was talking about how our character, you know, our character's a long way. Our character on and off the field, because, you know, when your character on the field, and it can be a whole different thing off the field, you know. So it can be a bad look like that. So we just really hitting on character, you know, the chemistry with our teammates. You know, we can't be, it's no I in team, you know. We one team, one family. So that's what we're really trying to get back to. You know, we trying to build our team back together, you know, put that loss behind us, you know, learn from it.
You learn a lot from your losses, and you gain a lot of confidence when you're winning, and so Lakers hoping to get back in the win column this Friday against the Lake Orion Dragons. Jaws, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. We'll take a break on This Week in Laker Football. We'll come back, talk about more of this upcoming week with the Lakers taking on Lake Orion Dragons. Friday, 7 o'clock. Coverage begins about 6:30 with the Laker pregame show live from the Swamp. You're watching and listening to This Week in Laker Football.
Takes a snap, hands it off to Jaws. A nice hole up the middle, breaks free to the 20, the 10, the 8-yard line. Finally, that big run right at the center for the Lakers.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road.
Welcome back to This Week in Laker Football. I'm Tyler Keefe, joined once again by head coach Tyrese Grice of the West Bloomfield Lakers, coming in 4-1 now for this homecoming game as Lake Orion comes into town. A couple of weeks of home games coming up, coming off a tough loss like that. What does being back at home, being able to practice here, being able to maybe get here a little bit earlier on those game days and really be prepared, what does that do for your team going up against Lake Orion and Oxford, two of the better teams in northern Oakland County?
Well, it's always good to play at home, get back in front of our fans. Our players play better when we play at home. The whole atmosphere is different. How we prepare is different. Just making sure that throughout the day we get our minds right. When you're on the road, sometimes that could be a little distraction. But now that we're home for the next 2 days, and this homecoming for us, we're excited about playing this next home game to redeem ourselves from the loss we had last week.
Quite a lot of recent and really interesting history with this Lake Orion team. A couple years ago, of course, there was that overtime game that went into 2 different days, a Saturday game for half of it and a Friday game for part of it as well. And then even the years before that, really competitive games with Lake Orion. Now under a different coaching staff, their old coach, their athletic director, Chris Bell, back at the helm. What do you know about this Lake Orion team? What should we know going into this Friday game?
Well, I've been here 11 years. We played them every year. I remember Coach Bell and his team and how they do things. They're a great coach, great program. They always come competitive when we play those guys. And it's always a game that's going to be whoever bring their best shot, usually the teams that's winning. So Coach Bell is a great guy. He does a good job with the program over there. I've been knowing him for a few years now, and we're looking forward to playing these guys.
Chris Bell, a championship winner at Lake Orion in his first tenure as their head coach before becoming the athletic director. Now he steps back into that role after the exit of John Blackstock, their former head coach. And Coach, what about this team schematically or from the way that they played the game is significant in what you're focusing on for this week as something for your guys to be looking out for and preparing for? Because every team's going to bring a different wrinkle in the OAA red.
Yeah, you got to go back and look at the history of this team and see what they did in the past. And although the new coach is back, I went back and looked at some of the things they did 10 years ago when he was head coach, and you can see similarities this year. So it's just a matter of this is a team that runs multiple offenses, so you just got to be prepared for that and making sure that we have guys properly line up right and make sure that that we recognize the formations and making sure we do those little things right. But right now we just got to focus on our kicking game. That was an area that we need to improve on. So going into this game, hopefully our kicking game will be much improved from the last few weeks. And Lake Orion is one of the teams that's going to always bring their A game against us, and there's always a competitive game. The last few games have been close, and it's not like someone scored 30 points against them, but it was always a touchdown to whoever had the ball last, usually the team that won. So we're going to go into this game, and just come better prepared than we were last week, and just get to know this offense and their defense and try to do our best to execute our game plan.
As you go through the next couple of weeks of OAA Red play, then finish up your OAA season, come to the end of the season against on a couple of really tough teams that are playing competitive ball at a high level. How important are these next few weeks in really getting your team prepared for the throes of playoff competition while also focusing on getting your W's every single week?
Well, you don't want to look too far ahead. Again, our next game is against Lake Orion. Our whole focus got to be on them. Not saying we're not looking ahead in terms of future games. Our goal is to win the OAA Red. Even though we had this loss against Adams, it's still out there for us. Anyone can win it. But we're just going to get ready for this Lake Orion game and really get prepared and try to win on this homecoming.
Yeah, 3 teams really at the top now. It's anybody's game between West Bloomfield, Clarkston, and Rochester Adams, each with 1 loss at this point in the season. Coach, thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Homecoming game, 7 o'clock on Friday night. Coverage on CivicCenterTV.com/Laker Sports begins with this show at 6 o'clock, followed by the Laker pregame show. Dave Scott and I live from the Swamp at about 6:30 on Friday night with a 7 o'clock kickoff right here at West Bloomfield High School. I want to thank you for joining us and thank everybody that has been on the program this week, and of course head coach Tyrese Grice for joining us every single week. That's this week in Laker football. We'll see you again very soon.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting night of Laker football right here in 89.3 Lakes FM, Civic Center TV. We are on Facebook Live tonight on the West Bloomfield Schools Facebook page. You can find us on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for West Bloomfield High School football. You can find us on statewide television streaming TV. Go to My Michigan TV. We are there as well. All these channels, one great game. It's homecoming in West Bloomfield. Dave Scott and Tyler Keefe as the West Bloomfield Lakers take on the Dragons of Lake Orion. Tyler, disappointing week last week for the Lakers, but hey, just got to get right up off the horse. If you fall off the horse, you get back on and you ride again the next Friday night.
Yeah, the key mantra for this Lakers team this whole week was we win as a team, we lose as a team. That's what Jaws had said in my interview with him on This Week in Laker Football. It's something that Coach Grice had emphasized was the message in the locker room and in team meetings as they reviewed what went wrong last week and what needs to go right this week for this team. And so they're coming back in looking to build back strong and learn from the mistakes of a game against a really formidable team in Rochester Adams to move forward, improve on last week, and try to have a really strong finish to a season that's very much still in their hands.
Well, the question we really don't know about last week is whether Rochester Adams really beat the Lakers or whether the Lakers beat themselves. Maybe a little bit of both. Something available for debate if we have some time tonight or as the season goes on. Nonetheless, Rochester Adams with 1 loss. The Lakers with 1 loss. The Wolves of Clarkston with 1 loss. Each of these teams can just keep fighting on, and we'll see where it all ends up. All of our teams leading the OAA Red very much in contention for postseason play. And any one of these teams, the way it goes in the MHSAA tournament, could find themselves at Ford Field before it's all over. So a lot of great football ahead of us. Don't be dismayed by 1 week. It's Laker football. It's Friday night, and it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. You're going to see some great players that are college-bound, and you're going to see a great program. And then it all happens, of course, under the lights here in West Bloomfield. And what was a spectacular day. It'll be a nice, cool night for football. Not a lot of wind here in West Bloomfield. The skies are perfectly blue, and it's going to be a great night for football. I want to thank our entire crew for being out here. Of course, this year, Tyler, the games are not only on radio and on the web, but also on Civic Center TV. You can watch, you can listen, you can tune in and be a big part of it. And one other way to participate, it's a lot of fun. If you go to the school's Facebook Live page, really, we're keeping a close eye on that. Yes. Good place to get in and chat. So if you want to say something, you got a message for the audience, Tyler and I will keep an eye on that tonight, and we would love to hear from you. But that's the setup for tonight. Laker football, West Bloomfield, Lake Orion, green and white and green and white. But, Tyler, the Lakers have modified their uniform a little bit for tonight here on homecoming.
Yeah, new alternate uniforms is interesting. After shooting this week in Laker football this week, the guys from the varsity team, even the JV team that were out in the athletics hallway where we shot this week's episode, we're asking Coach Grice after we got off camera, when are we going to wear our black uniforms next? He wasn't quite sure. He said they hadn't really been finally determined yet, but what a perfect night for that, going up against a team with obviously very similar colors, but also a really important game for bouncing back and putting on alternate uniforms, trying to take an alternate route forward that maybe you imagined was going to be the route forward a couple weeks ago.
Well, we want to thank our audience before we talk about the football game here to any further degree. We have had a huge viewing and listening audience, and we don't even know how many people have tuned in on the radio and TV because we can't measure that. But the things that we can measure, last week, somewhere between 25 and 3,500 viewers and listeners to these football games. So for all of you that are out there tonight, thank you so much for tuning in, watching wherever you are across the country, enjoying this high school football game. I know it's homecoming. And back when I went to West Bloomfield High School, I mean, this is my homecoming too, back in graduated in 77, we had to come back here to enjoy homecoming. You know, there wasn't any streaming on the internet. We didn't have all this fancy technology. So there's probably a lot of people tonight that are West Bloomfield High School grads that might be tuning in and joining us. And if you're there, go to Facebook and go to the school's Facebook page and watch the stream, or go to YouTube, either one. Can you chat either way?
Yeah, you can chat on YouTube Live also while you're there. Why not subscribe?
Chat and subscribe at YouTube. We'd love you to do that, actually. And then if you're, an alum of West Bloomfield, put a note in there. Tell us that you're watching and the year that you graduated, or if you got some other family members that are Lakers, we would love to have you tune in. So you can do it on YouTube and you can do it on Facebook Live. Tyler says, go to YouTube. Go to our Civic Center TV YouTube channel. Subscribe, and then we're going to send you a lot of notices about future and upcoming broadcasts. So enough about us and all that's going on here. Laker football, how much did the Lakers hurt themselves last Friday night?
I think they really got under their own skin. They let Rochester Adams get into their own head, and they got into their own heads as well. Butting heads on the sideline, not playing into their assignments, getting off kilter, and then getting frustrated with the ability that Rochester Adams had to execute on those mistakes and take advantage of a game that the Lakers at the beginning really did have quite the momentum in. Scoring first off of a fumble on offense from Rochester Adams, recovered by Brandon Davis-Swain, a quick touchdown from Samaj Morgan from Rick Nance, and Lakers take a 7-0 lead. Adams bounces back, and then really great defensive matchups from both sides for a while, and then when the wheels came off, they came off. That's a point of frustration for the Lakers, certainly, but that's really where things went wrong. I think they had a couple of parts of the wheel really fell off, and then everything kind of fell apart.
I think when things started going poorly for the Lakers, I think they didn't handle it very well. And it's kind of unusual for them. They are a successful team. They've had big victories all season long, and then you get up against an opponent that starts causing some problems for you, things you can't necessarily respond to, And rather than work real hard on solving the problems, you get into a little bit of the blame game on your own bench. And that isn't a productive way to deal with that. And they know that now. And I'm sure there was some soul searching and a little humble pie to eat this last week. But we hope that they did that, and it's a good thing. And the team will learn to move forward. Just another thing to learn.
Yeah, and that's the first thing they really honed in on in their review of last week's game. They meet over the weekends. They do Zoom meetings on Saturday and Sunday to review the previous game, watch some film, go over what went right and what went wrong. And on Monday, they have a team meeting to focus on where they're going forward. And this week's team meeting was much longer than it had been in weeks past, as it was really more.
I bet it was.
Yeah, less of a team meeting, more of an airing of grievances also, according to my discussions with the coaching staff and the players this week. And it's something that this team needed. You need to have those conversations here and there because it was interesting. Talking with Coach Grice after we shot This Week in Laker Football about just the game and how it is so often perceived as being a game of toughness and grit and physicality, and it certainly is. But what often isn't discussed is that the game of football is an emotional game. It is an interpersonal game. It's about communication just as much as it is that physicality and that grit. And when those emotions become too much of a factor, it has a huge impact on every other element of the game.
Well, the emotions can work for you.
Sure.
And they can work against
you.
You know, and it is an emotional game. But you've got to be smart. You know, and they went up against a team that knew that West Bloomfield might have been a little bit vulnerable. And I'm sure West Bloomfield caused some problems for themselves. But at the same time, I think Rochester Adams is a really well-coached team. They've seen how emotional this team is over the last couple of years. And I'm not so sure that they didn't do everything they could to press their buttons one way or another. And I'm not blaming them. That's it's a smart thing to do. You attack your opponent's weaknesses. So Lakers learned an awful lot. I'm looking forward to the day that West Bloomfield beats Rochester Adams. I see it. I dream about it. I know it's on the horizon. Maybe it'll happen during this campaign. We might get a chance to play them again in the postseason. But it will happen, and it'll be a great day. It took us a long time to beat Belleville. Took the Detroit Pistons a long time to beat the Boston Celtics. And Chicago and L.A., and all the other teams in basketball. It happens in every sport. There are mountains that you have to climb, and if it was easy, then it wouldn't be as great when you climb the mountain. So the Lakers got a mountain or two still to climb.
Yeah, you think about the last time they really had this sort of white whale they're going up against every year. Last time it was Clarkston. They had to beat them to get over that pinnacle and win the championship in 2020. Yeah. They were commonly losing really close games and heartbreaking games to Clarkston for several years, and all the way going back to of course, the 2017 baseball game they played at Ford Field, where it ended 3-2.
3-2, yeah.
And even before that, during the regular season, they had their struggles with Clarkston. But once they got over that hump, that was huge for them.
Yeah, and then it was Belleville, right?
Then it was Belleville. But, you got to cross those barriers to be champions. You got to beat the best. And in order to do that, you have to figure out how to do that as it works for your team.
Well, it's still a great team. We still have, some of the best talent of any high school football team in the state of Michigan. And the team's going to work together, grow. And I think our hopes are very, very high. I still like the way, with the exception of last Friday night, the way this team has played this year. And I think they've played better this year than I've ever seen them play before. So we'll see what happens tonight and how they rebound. Big game for the Lakers. You need to get back on track. And in all honesty, Lake Orion comes in. We have a great history against Lake Orion, but this is a team that the Lakers should be able, and a game they should be able to manage.
It is. It's a game that they should be able to play competitively. Don't discount the game that Lake Orion plays. Their style of play is very much conducive to getting out in front of this Lakers team in ways that other squads have been able to do so this year. I think about, in comparison, something like Rochester Hills Stony Creek a few weeks ago. A lot of misdirection, very run-heavy spread offense back in Lake Orion. Kind of more of their traditional offense versus the last several years under John Blackstock, their former head coach, still on their coaching staff, who stepped aside from the head coaching position. Kind of going back to their traditional spread offense as opposed to that wing tee that they've been running over the last few years. That's a very classic sort of football formation as their basis. And so that's been something that's been a little bit of a struggle for this Lakers team defensively, is battling all that misdirection, battling that motion at the line off the snap. They've been able to contain it for the most part, but this Lake Orion team is a lot better than it looks on paper. Tough schedule for them so far this year.
Well, and they have had a rough time this year, but it's going to be a great game. And, you know, every Lake Orion West Bloomfield game is unique and in and of itself a unique battle. And you can't really draw all that much other than the night of the game. Take a look and see what happens and what the results are. And, you know, all we got to do is look back to that contest. I think it was the thunderstorm game 2 years ago when we were in double overtime, and then the game was suspended, and it became, triple and then quadruple overtime before the Lakers were able to eke out a victory. One evening and another afternoon of football. And, you know, one of the greatest high school football contests I have ever seen these two teams played in their recent history. Everyone on these teams, anyone associated with them, remembers that very competitive environment here and a perfect setting for homecoming here tonight in West Bloomfield.
Yeah, you want to have your most competitive games in those important home environments. You have family fun night. You go up against a team like Clarkston. Homecoming, everybody coming back. It's a really important game with the way the storyline for this team has gone this season, but it's also an important game in the OAA Red Division. Despite last week's results for the Lakers, they're still very much in the driver's seat here in the OAA Red Division. A four-way tie at the top between Adams, West Bloomfield, Clarkston, and Lake Orion. While those at the top, Adams and West Bloomfield, have similar overall records, and Clarkston and Lake Orion both come into this week with 2 losses. All these teams only have one OAA Red Division loss, and that being Adams to Clarkston, Clarkston to West Bloomfield, and Lake Orion to Rochester Adams. So still a tie atop the league. If the Lakers are able to pull a W tonight and get a little luck in other places that they can't control this week, they'd be right back in first place here in the OAA.
Well, we'll keep an eye on all those scores this week and throughout the rest of the season. As for tonight's game, a little bit of extra drama, injuries starting to pop up, and some players that aren't suited up for the first time really this year. We've seen a little bit of a factor, and tonight a little bit of a factor and an issue in the Lakers secondary.
Yes, tonight that is going to be a big factor. 2 of their 3 starting cornerbacks, their primary 2 starting cornerbacks, both out on the defensive side of the ball. Lorenzo Williams battling an ankle injury, missing his 2nd consecutive game. Hopefully they will have Zoe back very soon. And then Bryce Rowe, of course, last week a couple of consecutive personal foul calls on the sideline at Rochester Adams. That got him ejected from the game. That ejection is a suspension for that next game over. So Bryce Rowe and the Laker 4 will not be on the field tonight. That being said, Jameer Benjamin in Laker 12 is suited up, an excellent cornerback that'll be taking over the helm, and Lakers are pretty deep in the secondary too. They're going to need those guys to step up tonight against a team that loves to move the ball down the field, get those big chunk plays, and get their receivers involved.
Well, you're the Lake Orion coaching staff. You're aware these 2 key players are out on defense. Are you going to throw the ball downfield a little bit more than you might otherwise?
Yeah, the Lake Orion Dragons typically, in this sort of a spread offense, they love to run the ball, but they have plenty of wide receivers with a variety of skill sets. They can play wide. They can play in the slot. This team likes to mix it up, too. They will throw those bomb passes, but they're also going to utilize the short game, the inside passing game. They got skilled quarterbacks. They run that 2-quarterback system. One of the quarterbacks more of an athletic gunslinger. The other one more of a traditional game manager quarterback. They're really able to execute their offense well in the air and on the ground. And if the Lakers have guys out in the secondary that are key guys, they're going to try to exploit that.
All right, Tyler, I'm going to do a little word association with you now.
Oh.
This is a new feature for our sponsors.
Okay.
I'm going to mention our sponsors, okay, one by one. I'm giving you a little warning here. We didn't talk about this before the broadcast.
That's fine.
This is impromptu. I know you're up for it. And I'll mention a sponsor, and then you just kind of tell me a little bit about what comes to mind. I mean, you know them all so well. Let's start with the folks that have been with us. I just think they're always with us, it seems like, for these football broadcasts. A huge, monstrous hello and thank you to the fine people at Orchard Mall. Tyler Kieft, Orchard Mall.
When I think Orchard Mall, I think everything. They got something for everybody and every interest. If you're looking to grab a nice bite to eat, You can do that at the Orchard Mall. You're looking to get a good workout. Planet Fitness moved in there a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Go over there and get a workout. You want to go over there and bring your pets in, your dogs in for a dog wash, or get some dog food, cat food, or food or anything else you need for your pets. You got Premier Pet Supply over there, and I'm kind of giving a teaser for down the line here. I won't give any further word association for there, but there's something for everyone at the Orchard Mall. Beauty, activities, fitness, whatever you're looking for.
And they're at Maple and Orchard Lake Roads
Yes.
in West Bloomfield. And it's wonderful to have an enclosed mall here in our neighborhood, especially as the weather gets a little bit colder, a little bit snowier. So make sure you are keenly aware of our wonderful mall, Orchard Mall. Michigan Week also. Wonderful to have them on board as a sponsor of Laker football. Tyler Keefe, Michigan Week.
Oh, first word has to come to mind is volunteers. Celebrating our volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield for over 50 years, continuing a statewide tradition that's now been very isolated to really just our community here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. If you know someone that's been doing some volunteering in the community, hasn't really gotten their due recognition, and you want to recognize them, MichiganWeek.org.
Deb and Ken Macon.
I mean, they're involved in everything. Involvement and community are the two words that come to mind when I think of them. Ken, of course, on the library board. Deb Macon, one of our cable commissioners with the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, who oversees our operations at Civic Center TV and Lakes FM. And now they find themselves involved in as much as they can in the community, supporting the different community groups and community events. And, of course, you and I and everybody else that makes this great community so unique.
All right, so now we're going to go Jeopardy version. I'm going to give you the answer, then you can tell me the question. A great place to take your animal right here, or animals, right here in West Bloomfield at Maple and Orchard Lake Road. And, I think a really fun place for not only you to hang out, but also for your pet to hang out.
That's Premier Pet Supply. Sorry, what is Premier Pet Supply, Dave? There you go. Now I got my points, Trebek. Time hasn't ran out just yet. Yeah, great place to go to get whatever you need for your pets, whether it be some new pet toys, some treats if you're looking to train your dog, or just to get that food that you always need.
You can take your pets to the store.
You can,
They
yes.
love that. It's so much fun to go in there and everyone's got their pets with them. All right, so thanks again to all of our sponsors, and you can now see how tuned in Tyler Keefe is to all of our sponsors and our community. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. We're about 10 minutes away from the kickoff. We've got the band, the national anthem, and all the homecoming festivities happening before and the game, and also during halftime. Stick around. It's going to be a fun broadcast. West Bloomfield, Lake Orion. You're watching it. You're listening to it, and we are delighted to be with you. We will be back in just a moment.
Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
If your pet could tell you where you should shop for him or her, it'd be a place run by pet lovers. With hard-to-find food, toys, and gifts, with pet-friendly people and services, and great advice from people who really know pets, it'd be a place where his friends hang out, even that old guy, where there's a surprise around every corner. If your pets could tell you, they'd recommend Premier Pet Supply. But pets can't talk. Or can they? Premier Pet Supply, the place pets love.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to MichiganWeek.org for details. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Looking for a way to spice up your celebration, event, or gathering? Plan for a party at the Event Show, presented by Star Tracks. Find a fun game for your family, photo opportunities for friends, or confectionery treats to make some unforgettable memories. Talk with businesses and teams dedicated to providing exciting goods and services for your corporate or personal parties. The Event Show, Sunday, October 16th, 11 to 3 at Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield.
Welcome back to Laker football right here at 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com, Civic Center TV. You can also watch us on Facebook Live at the West Bloomfield Schools. Our favorite place to watch on YouTube. Go to YouTube, look for West Bloomfield Lakers, or look for the Civic Center TV channel, and you will find tonight's game, West Bloomfield Lake Orion. You can search for that too. We'll be there. Good place to comment. Join the thousands of others who will be there tonight tuning into the game. And, of course, you can watch on My Michigan TV. Install the app on your phone or on your smart TV and enjoy the game. That's My Michigan TV. So thank you very much for joining us. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe here in the booth along with the entire crew. And we are really delighted to be here on this Friday night. Hey, don't forget, Sunday, right next door, is the West Bloomfield Fire Department open house. You're going to be there broadcasting live. Should be a lot of fun. Yeah, plenty to go on over there. You can learn more about your local fire department, the ways that they fight fires, and, of course, provide paramedic and EMT services, but also learn more about some of our other community organizations, some local health entities as well will also be there. You can even get your flu shot usually at the fire department open house, courtesy of Alana's Foundation, a local nonprofit that was started as a result of the founders and their young daughter having died as a result of complications related to influenza. They're usually there this year, but there's plenty to do, plenty of fun and learning opportunities for the kids. It's a great family event happening Sunday right next door, Fire Station number 1 on Orchard Lake Road in West Bloomfield. All right, make sure you're there. Should be a lot of fun. The kids are really going to love that. Noon to 3 live on many of our outlets. We hope you tune in, or better yet, stop by and bring the kids. It'll be a lot of fun. So, Tyler, numbers for tonight? Final guess, scoring for this evening? You think it's going to be a high-scoring affair? You think, the Lakers are going to put a lot of points up? Lake Orion's going to put a lot of points up? Do you think it's going to be a defensive battle? And what do you think the result is going to look like? I think West Bloomfield is going to have the edge tonight, Dave, and here's the reason why. Lake Orion and their game against a similar team, that being Rochester Adams, really had some struggles keeping their defense off the field. Not that their offense was ineffective, it's that their offense just wasn't sustaining those drives. So that war of attrition really came into play. And with the physicality of the Lakers' fronts on both sides of the ball and their ability to move the football down the field and get into the end zone, but also their ability, as we've seen over the last several weeks, to be able to sustain drives could be a factor tonight. That could be a negative for these Lake Orion Dragons. For the West Bloomfield Lakers, will be interesting to see is how the Dragons exploit the missing players in the secondary and the use of misdirection to get ahead of this Lakers front and get the ball out in open space. And if I'm Lake Orion, I'm going to test the Laker bench a little bit too. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to push on the Lakers a little bit. Maybe push on them and see if I get some reaction like happened last week at Rochester Adams. Why not? and then let's see if this team has learned anything, is better equipped to handle that kind of intimidation, if you will, from the other team. But why not do everything you can to win the game?
Yeah, and also employ some hard counts too. You've seen the
Right.
Lakers have had some blown assignments. It's also been a negative point over the last few weeks, not really having exactly the snap count down or being able to have that discipline to wait for that ball to be snapped defensively. Mostly it's been on the offensive side of the ball, but why not go ahead, be aggressive, and test that out and see if you can kind of get in the Lakers' head and bring those old problems back to the front and center and see if you can get under their skin a little bit.
One of the things last week, back to the X's and O's of football, leaving everything else aside, I thought the Lakers underutilized some of their star players. And starting with Samaj Morgan, it's almost like they were so concerned about the double teams and all the focus that he was getting is that they used him as a decoy and forgot that he is a very powerful weapon. You gotta give him the touches that he deserves, because he's going to make some magic.
Yeah, and also it's a credit to the Rochester Adams secondary, too, to be able to compete with him at that kind of level. And you have a guy that's athletic as Parker Pico in the secondary, Nick Patera also out there. It's really tough to get those skilled guys, even someone as talented as Samaj Morgan, out in the open, especially when you're frustrating the defensive line, getting to the quarterback, you're shutting down of the receiving front in the secondary and limiting Rick Nance's options, including Samaj. It's not very often you're going to have a guy throwing into double and triple teams, even to a guy like Samaj that can get up in the air and make those kind of crazy acrobatic catches.
And we have seen some new wrinkles with the Laker offense this year. Speaking of Samaj Morgan, they found every way to utilize this guy. He is an amazing pass receiver, plays great defense for the Lakers, manages all the punts, and he was lining up in the running back position last week, right next to quarterback Rick Nance often. And I think they were doing that to kind of disguise him in the offense a little bit. He had a couple of great plays where he would shoot out from the backfield and then pick up a nice reception. But do you think that they're going to continue to work with him in the backfield and not just split him out or put him in the slot, but also using him as a receiving running back?
Yeah, we've even seen him get an opportunity to kind of be the quarterback, throwing the touchdown a couple weeks ago to Jaws. Samaj is a former quarterback, much like Donovan Edwards was when he came up to play at the varsity level or at the high school level for the Lakers. And so, throw whatever wrinkles you can out there, using these guys that are so athletic and so highly skilled and have such a high football IQ. Of course, you're going to use them in any way that you can. Especially to throw these other teams off. They don't have film in that regard. You know what your guys are capable of, and you know what these other teams have seen in their film from the past weeks this season and from past seasons' action as well.
One of the other things the Lakers have been doing offensively the last couple of weeks, and again last week, Kenny Jones III, you call him Jaws, last week and the week prior, they've been using him more as a blocker than the key running back and giving the ball to Ralph Rogers and others. Do you expect to continue to see that and those kind of formations tonight?
Oh, absolutely. He's another guy that all these defenses are going to be having eyes on, a highly skilled player, athletic, great at getting to the second level, playing physical football, sticking to the run and breaking tackles. Of course, they're going to use him as the decoy, especially when Ralph Rogers has been really effective inside the red zone as well. And Kenneth Jones III has had a great season, underrated. He has scored a touchdown in every single week so far this season, 2 in week 1 and 1 each from week 2 through week 5.
So my question is, and we can wrap this up, are the Lakers underutilizing their rock stars?
No, I don't think overall they are. Maybe last week there was a bit of an issue, but I also think that that's more of a factor of Rochester Adams was just able to execute their game plan very well. When they got their stuff together in that game, they played excellently. In West Bloomfield, with the issues that they had, we've discussed ad nauseum already in the pregame show, it was just too much for them to even be able to get those guys opportunities that they normally would have there.
All right, well, last week was last week, And this week is this week. It's West Bloomfield and Lake Orion. Lakers coming out into the field now. They'll make their way under the amazing Go Lakers inflatable tunnel and march their way out on the field. We'll see it for those of you watching on TV. If you're listening on the radio, get yourself in front of a television, Civic Center TV. You can watch us online. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, My Michigan TV, one of a number of places you can be able to not only tune in and listen, but also watch. And we hope you'll do that and see the fine work of one of the guys from Lake Orion that we really like, and that's John Atwater, our director. A Lake Orion alum, Tyler Keefe, is going to be switching our video tonight. Is that going to be okay?
I think it'll be fine. There's no sabotage happening out here.
Okay. All right. Here come your West Bloomfield Lakers and a nice, sizable hometown crowd on homecoming night. Bringing them out on the field as we get ready for tonight's kickoff, and I couldn't be more thrilled than to have a night off here and hand the microphone for tonight's call over to Tyler Keefe.
Well, they have an important game for these Lakers. At the top of the OAA Red Division, they're coming out with that flag, 2020 state champs. This is one of those hurdles you got to overcome. Can you lose a game in the regular season when it's not ending your season and come back stronger? Can you learn lessons when those lessons count? Rochester Adams, obviously a tough situation, but how you react to tough situations, how you come back from tough situations, that is what defines a championship team. As you hear the Boo Birds coming out, as the rivals also getting their way to the field. Lake Orion Dragons now taking their sideline here across the field at Laker Stadium, Dave.
Well, it kind of looks like the Lakers. They are there in their white uniforms with green lettering. It's green and white tonight, and a nice contingent of fans here from Lake Orion tonight, making the drive down here to West Bloomfield. They brought their band, I think, a little bit, or at least a couple of musicians, and a lot of fun tonight. So good to see Lake Orion here and the great fan support that they have.
Yeah, Dragon Nation, they travel very well, Dave, here in the OAA Red Division. They love their team. They love their football, and I think they're really excited for this team, and deservedly so this year, as we get ready for the Laker Express to sing our national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets were glad, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Let's hear it for Laker Express.
The Laker Express singing the Star-Spangled Banner, and now we are ready for game action. Coin toss happening earlier on. The Lakers winning the coin toss and deferring to the second half, so they will kick off to the Lake Orion Dragons tonight as they get back into home action and look to answer after a tough game last week on the road, looking to make this a tough game tonight for the visiting Dragons.
Well, you're the Lakers. You like to feature your defense. Any opportunity you can to get the defense out of the field first. They like to do that, stifle the other team, and then come back and pound them with your imposing offense. So Lakers are going to get just what they wanted.
Lakers will operate from the left side to the right side, and Lake Orion will return right to left here at Lakers Stadium as we're getting ready for them to signal. Here come the Lakers out onto the field getting ready for their kickoff. Lake Orion talking it over on the sideline, getting ready. Those last words from the legendary Chris Bell, Michigan High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Famer, class of 2022, in his first season back at the helm after 19 previous seasons where he amassed a 149-59 overall record, 16 playoff appearances, and the 2010 championship at Lake Orion. Lakers lining up out for the kick tonight for West Bloomfield. It's going to be Ryan Krauthammer, left-handed kicker for West Bloomfield, the senior. Back for Lake Orion, returning is going to be Dorian Hill, single returner. They also keep high guys like Trey Pukmara III. Krauthammer signals. Crowd puts up their spirit fingers. The ref calls it. And we are underway at West Bloomfield. Krauthammer approaching the ball on the right hash at the 40-yard line. Nice kickoff, booming and down to about the 7-yard line to Hill. Returns at the 15, takes it about the 20-yard line. Met by Kari Jackson, gets away, and then swallowed up at about the 21-yard line. That's where this Lake Orion front will take off after Samaj Morgan makes the tackle on the kickoff.
Well, it's amazing. Lakers special teams features Samaj Morgan. Nice tackle there. The offense features Samaj Morgan. The defense features Samaj Morgan. He's getting in the game right from the very outset.
23-yard line is the starting position for Lake Orion in their own territory. Out on the field, their starting quarterback tonight, at least to begin this game, is going to be game manager Connor McCartan, senior. You'll also see another quarterback tonight, T.R. Hill, the athletic sophomore quarterback, who is more of an athletic finesse player. Connor McCartan under center. Twins left, single man in the backfield. Man in motion, quick handoff up the middle, A-gap left side, maybe gets about 3 yards, and then tackled by Montel Johnson and a slew of Lakers. Second down coming up.
Lakers show the blitz that time, bringing in Rob Harris on the left side, trying to cause some pressure for this offense right at the outset of the game.
Second down, it'll be second down for Lake Orion here. 10:39 to go in the first quarter. Still under center is going to be Connor McCartan. Twins to the left, twins to the right. No man in the backfield. Man in motion, snap to McCartan. He'll hand it off. Gets about the 25-yard line, 27, almost the 30. Taken down by Montel Johnson. The ball carrier is Darren Jones Jr., the sophomore.
Great tackle there by Johnson, Tyler, and they are just unable to break free around the edge. Look at the Lakers here in the replay, maintain and contain them and do a really good job of protecting all of the gaps and not letting them get outside. Great job by the Laker D.
Third down now for Lake Orion Dragons at their own 27. Connor McCartan under center again. Actually, no, now he goes in the shotgun. One man in the backfield is Billy Roberson. Scored a couple of touchdowns in key games against Oxford and Rochester Adams. Snap to McCartan. In the pocket, looking for a receiver. Throws down the field, intending. Oh, and it's intercepted. That is Adrian Epps at the 46-yard line. He takes it past the 50, down to the 45. Got space, heading toward the 40. At the sideline, the 35, and finally taken down out of bounds by Dorian Hill. Interception for the Cowboys on that pass intended for Dominic Novak.
Well, a great job by the secondary, but that started with a great pass rush. Again, hopefully we'll see the replay here, but a really nice job. You can't see it on that replay. You're just going to see a great return by Epps, who's able to get a bunch of yards after the INT.
And you see out there in the Lakers 7, Deontay Pippen in the secondary today. Likely an adjustment made with both Bryce Rowe and Lorenzo Williams out. So the Lakers, great field position. 31-yard line of Lake Orion, 1st and 10 with 9:07 to go in the first quarter. Brody Pecor is in at quarterback, it looks like, with Ralph Rogers in the backfield. Lined up wide to the left, Samaj Morgan and Josh Tate. Trenton Allison wide right, Tate in motion. Snap and a fake handoff by Pecor. Takes it up the middle, gets a few yards there. Nice little run on first down and taken down by Lake Orion. A slew of linebackers and linemen.
So a little bit of a surprise. We did not expect to see Pecor here in the game this early. And we'll try to find out if there's an injury issue or maybe just a little bit of follow-up from last week.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Seeing some of the guys from down depth chart come in and get early action. Second down for the Lakers. Pecor again in the shotgun. 2 men in the backfield. Quick fake handoff. He'll take it left side. Get a couple of yards. He'll be third down. Tackled again. Couple of Dragon linebackers.
Well, if you've not had a chance to learn or see much about Pecor, he is really a very imposing runner. He is a big guy. He can bust right through it and, just run like a big old wide-bodied back, Tyler.
Third down, about 2.5, 3 yards to go for the Lakers. 8:10 to go in the first quarter. Pecor again in the gun. Josh Tate in at running back. Ralph Rogers also in the backfield. Single man to the twins to the right. Morgan and Allison snap to Pecor, hand off to Tate, breaks a tackle at the 20, first down and more, still on his feet, 15-10, and boy, he is rocked. Taken down by Trey Puckmar III.
Well, what a great run. And that was all Pecor there because he's able to start this run and then break a tackle, as you'll see right here. Good start to the run, and then boom, he's caught. All muscle, breaks out of the tackle, breaks his second tackle, continues to have an open field run with a nice stiff arm. That was a great run, Tyler.
Lakers at the Dragon 9, first down and goal. Pecor still in at quarterback in the gun. Ralph Rogers in the backfield, twins left, Tate and Samaj Morgan. Morgan in motion, snap to Pecor. He'll take it around the outside, gets to the edge, down at the 5-yard line again. It's going to be Puckmara III on the tackle.
Well, a bunch of flags there on the snap. And, they didn't stop the play, so I don't know if it's going to be against the defense, but that really looked like there could have been some motion by the Lakers here, and that is exactly what they're going to say. Offensive penalty, set it back 5 yards, and run that one again.
All-Star going to send him back to repeat the first down. Still going to be goal to go for West Bloomfield. Instead of being at their 9, they'll be at their 14-yard line. About 14 and maybe a couple of inches behind that 14-yard line. Pecor in the shotgun, 6:12 to go in the first quarter. Snap to Pecor. He'll hand it off to Morgan. Morgan rolls around the right. Gonna throw the ball, and just over the head of DeAndre Hill. A little trickery there, getting the former quarterback himself, Samaj Morgan, involved in the passing game.
Nice job by the defensive back for Lake Orion, Corbin Smith, able to do a really good job defensively on that play.
6:46 to go in the first quarter. It'll be second down for West Bloomfield on the Lake Orion 14-yard line. Second and goal, 0-0 score here in West Bloomfield. Lakers lining up. Looks like Samaj is going to be in at quarterback, unless they bring another guy in. It's going to be Samaj. An empty backfield. Twins to the left, twins to the right. And Morgan in the shotgun, the quarterback. Snap to Morgan. He's going to roll around right. Being chased by the Dragons. Throws it deep in the end zone, just over the head of Trenton Allison. Incomplete.
Well, nice job there by Samaj Morgan. First of all, Lake Orion brings the house, and they almost got Samaj Morgan. But let's not forget who this guy is. This is Samaj Morgan. He's able to break free, get away from them, and then make a pass on the run. Didn't really even have to play it. He's got a great arm. We don't see it too often.
Third down and goal now for West Bloomfield. Morgan goes to the sideline to get instructions. He'll continue at quarterback. Looks like it's going to be trips right for West Bloomfield. Trenton Allison, DeAndre Hill, and Jaden Allos wide. Single man left for the L-Boys. Now they're going to put twins left. It's going to be Deontay Pippin and Jalen Jackson. 6:37 to go in the first quarter. Morgan in the gun. He'll take the snap, getting chased, going to throw the ball off the blind side. He throws it to Hill, touchdown Lakers.
Well, beautiful pass by Samaj Morgan, under pressure, about to get hit, and then just lets go of the ball with perfect timing to get the touchdown. Nice job by the quarterback tonight, Mr. Everything, Samaj Morgan.
He's got those skills, got the history, and puts it up. So Justin Ward in for the PAT. Trenton Allison will be his holder. 6-0 now the score for the Lakers with 6:17 to go in the first period. Ward going to adjust where he wants that ball to be placed at the 10-yard line for the PAT. He'll line up, going to get going. Ball is snap, hold is down. Ward puts it up between the uprights. It's good. 7-0 Lakers with 6:18 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching and listening to Laker football.
Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
Welcome back to Laker football on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Find more information, civiccentertv.com/Lakersports. Watch our live stream and also find all the places we're broadcasting live.
Interesting turn of events there, Tyler, as we go to break. Penalty flag on the extra point and roughing the kicker against Lake Orion. Yeah. I'm sure they're going to penalize Lake Orion on the kickoff. That's odd. I mean, you don't see that too often, really. And, you know, Ward made the kick. It was beautiful. By the way, during the pregame workout, he's kicking 40-yard field goals and nailing them every time. He's a great kicker. He really is.
Good young kicker. Got some nice pedigree there. His brother Jake, a great kicker here for West Bloomfield. Also a soccer player, now playing at the University of Central Arkansas. So with the penalty, it's a personal foul. It's 15 yards. That'll mean the kickoff for Krauthammer is going to be in Lake Orion territory. It'll be kicked off from the Dragon 45-yard line.
So do you think you might want to onside kick this?
Nah, I think you just kick it short.
All
Kick a short, high hang time kick. Try to get physical and knock that ball loose. So Krauthammer will make the kick. He's going to kick it way back in the end zone. Hill will let it go over his head, and it'll be a touchback. That's where Lake Orion will begin at their 20.
All right, well, a lot of different things you could have done with that. You don't normally kick off the ball in your opponent's side of the field, but good start to tonight's contest. The Lakers doing everything they want to do. They get an interception, get a nice turnover, and then successfully put the ball in the end zone on their first drive. A nice look from the Lakers, looking very confident, but not the offensive scheme we thought we would be seeing. More on that a little bit later when the Lakers get the ball back.
6:16 to go in the first quarter. L Boys 7, Lake Orion, the visiting Dragons 0. First down and 10 at the Lake Orion 20. Under center again is Connor McCartan. Twins to the left, twins to the right, single man to backfield. One man in motion, quick handoff to Hill Jr. He'll take it up the middle, get about 4 yards, maybe 5. Second down.
Really nice tackle, solo tackle by the Lakers, and I think it was Kari Jackson. We'll see it, pick it up right here. Great job by the Lakers to stop that run right up the center.
Billy Roberson, the ball carrier on first down. Second down and about 5-6 yards for Lake Orion. McCartan under center now for the Dragons. In motion is Hill Jr. He'll hand it off to Roberson again. He'll get stuffed right away at the line by the Lakers. Coming up with the tackle is Brandon Davis-Swain.
Yeah, good job by Davis-Swain there, but again, Lakers making it very difficult to run right up the center of the line. Everybody on the defensive line covering their gaps, doing a good job.
Third down and about 9 yards at the 25-yard line for the Dragons. Got to get to the 30 for first down. Under center is McCartan. Bunch formation, single man wide for the Dragons. Snapping a handoff, he'll hand it to Hill Jr. Gets a nice little gainer, gets past the 30, first down and more to the 32-yard line. First down, Dragons.
Unfortunately, the Lakers come up with that tackle in the backfield, all the way back with Apps safety, and Lake Orion, a good job there to be able to get that ball and get through the initial defensive line and the linebackers of the Lakers.
Twins trips right for the Dragons. Novak, the single man left. McCartan in the gun with Roberson in the backfield. Snap to McCartan. Quick toss to the right to Roberson. He'll get past the 35. Just about a hair, and it will be second down.
Well, Tyler, everything we expected to see for homecoming night. Look at this, a huge crowd. People get here a little late for these Laker games, but we got a great crowd on the Lake Orion side, and a beautiful night for football.
First down marker at the 42-yard line. Ball placed at the 35. Second down and 7 for Lake Orion. McCartan under center, single man in the backfield. Man in motion is Hill Jr. McCartan will hand the ball off. Being chased in the backfield, not going to get any gain there. Raymond Payne, the wide receiver, the ball carrier, third down now for the Dragons.
Yeah, but if we can see the replay here, I don't know if we're going to get it or not, but yeah, here it comes. That could have been a lot worse because the Lakers almost had him in the backfield. You see Brandon Davis Swain here, just unable to get a handle on him. They break contain and turn what could have been a big loss into really a no gain, but good play for Lake Orion.
McCartan in shotgun, trips right for the Dragons, single man in the backfield. One man to the right as well. 3:37 to go in the first quarter. Snap to McCartan, toss to his left. It's Roberson trying to break attack on Kari Jackson. Then he gets stuffed by Rob Harris. Oh, what a hit. Rock takes him down. That'll be fourth.
Great job by Rob Harris, but let's watch this replay. I think you got to give an assist to Kari Jackson here, too, because Kari slows him down. See, here comes Kari Jackson right here, and even with a stiff arm, he's able to get it in and slow it down. And then comes the big hit by Rob Harris. Big man happy with that one.
Secondary action by the linebackers helping out there. Fourth down for the visiting Lake Orion Dragons. Ball will be punted by Caleb Jones at the Lake Orion 25-yard line. That's where he is standing. Back for the West Bloomfield is Samaj Morgan to return the kick, lining up at the Laker 30. 3 minutes to go and counting in the first quarter. Kick is off for Jones. It's a short one, going to land about the 45-yard line. Morgan going to take the reception. Breaks a tackle, face mask is clear, flag is thrown. Morgan still on his feet at the 50. Down to the 40, out of bounds, about the 37-yard line. Going to gain some extra yards there. Clear and present face mask.
Well, apparently the guys in Lake Orion didn't get the memo. Don't kick the ball to Samaj Morgan. It's not going to go well. Last 2 weeks, the teams we've played have done everything they can to avoid kicking the ball to Samaj. Lake Orion kicks the ball to Samaj. The only way they can slow him down a little bit is with a face mask. The flag's on the field. They're going to call that. And the Lakers, as a result, have a great Samaj Morgan run and the penalty, and are going to get great field position.
That'll advance him 15 yards. It'll be first down for West Bloomfield. Actually, they'll call it 5. Instead, and that ball initially at the 37-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. 33-yard line now, the placement of the ball. As they call the 38, the down marker. First and 10 for the Lakers. Again, no Rick Nance in. It's Kenneth Jones. It's Jaws in at quarterback. 2 men out to the right. It's Tate and Samaj Morgan. Single man left for West Bloomfield. 3 minutes left in first. Snap to Jones. Delayed handoff on the read to Tate. He takes it down to about the 30-yard line, gain of about 3 yards.
Watch the replay in this and look at the great handoff that Kenny Jones does to get the ball to the running back. He just takes his time and slowly but surely, nice handoff, and makes the handoff really, really nicely there.
Yeah, Donovan McNamee was the linebacker being read there. Makes a jump, and that's when Jaws hands it off. So, second down for West Bloomfield. Pecor in the quarterback. Quick handoff to Jaws. Tries to take up the middle. Stuffed by 3 linemen of Lake Orion. It'll be third down.
Tyler, I had no idea that the Lakers are going to be running 4 or 5 different quarterbacks tonight when I asked you to do the play-by-play. Good luck.
Hey, that's why you study this. You learn it over time, Dave. Good night for that.
I'm looking for Nance on the sideline. Is he here?
Have not seen him
I
just
don't
yet.
see him on the field.
Pecor in at quarterback, 7-0 for the Lakers with time ticking in the first quarter. Twins to the left, now trips to the left as Jaws also lines up in a bunch formation. Wide is Trenton Allison. They're trying to realign this offense. Pecor sending Jaws to the end of the line, to the right just behind DeAndre Hill. Now sending him out wide along, or in the slot, along with Josh Tate wide. Morgan in motion, snapping a handoff to Morgan. Gonna throw the ball out to Tate and incomplete. Looked like that was going in the direction of Kenneth Jones III and Dorian Hill, and almost picked off instead by Corbin Smith.
Well, Samaj Morgan makes a mistake here. He's not been playing quarterback much this year. And in this place, he wasn't quarterback, but he had the ball, decided to throw. And that's a pass that he probably shouldn't have thrown. You're not going to make everyone definitely covered in the backfield, and fortunately it worked out okay.
Gonna punt for West Bloomfield. Samaj Morgan coming out, but actually he's lined up short. They may go for this on fourth down. Morgan in at quarterback. 2 men out to wide left. It is Jackson and it is Trenton Allison. Trips to the right. Snap to Morgan in the shotgun. Contains broken. He's going to take out the middle. He's going to be taken down. It is a tackle for Lake Orion. On the tackle is Judah Kinney. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Lake Orion going to take over the football. And it'll be first down at about the 30-yard line, about their best starting field position so far tonight for Lake Orion. 7-0 score for the Lakers here in the first quarter. Lake Orion Dragons 0. In this matchup among two teams tied atop the OAA Red Division tonight. West Bloomfield 4-1. Lake Orion coming in 3-2. So they'll take over. 1:22 to play in the first quarter.
31-yard line.
31-yard line starting point, 1st and 10. Now we see T.R. Hill coming in at quarterback. More of a finesse guy, an athletic spread offense quarterback as opposed to McCartan, the game manager. One man in motion now, snap to Hill. He'll hand it off up the middle and stuffed by the Lakers. Looks like Xavier Davis on that tackle alongside Rob Harris.
Roberson on the carry.
So Roberson takes the ball there, the ball carrier, and the Lake Orion Dragons number 3, 2nd down for the Dragons now at the 31-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9 with a minute and some change to play in the first quarter. 7-0 lead for the Lakers. T.R. Hill still in at quarterback. Dragons running this 2-quarterback system. Twins to the left and a single man to the right. One man in the backfield is Billy Roberson. Under center's Hill. Fakes the toss, going to run out of the pocket. Getting chased by Kari Jackson, going to be ran out of bounds by Jackson and Brandon Davis Swain, and that'll be a 3rd down. Awkward landing for Brandon Davis Swain out of bounds. Rolled around a little bit after that, but gets right back up. Just an awkward landing, nothing too major. And so it'll be 3rd down now for the Dragons. Nope, Brandon Davis Swain now is on the ground. That hurt a little bit more than expected, and a really scary moment here for Brandon Davis Swain. Kind of just after that hit, went out of bounds, landed awkwardly on his left shoulder. We'll see later on.
Yeah, that's not one of those like he's cramped up or something kind of things. Just such a key player for this team, hoping everything is okay. So Tyler took a little bit of time to find out what's going on with the Laker quarterback, Rick Nance. And he will not play tonight. He is out. The coaching staff says he has an injury. And they kind of left it at that. So he won't be playing tonight.
No Rick Nance. That's why you're seeing that platooning quarterback. We've seen Brody Pecor, backup quarterback. Often we see at fullback and tight end for this Laker offense. Samaj Morgan, of course, the everyman in all 3 phases for the Lakers. A true triple threat, really beyond triple threat for this Laker team. A former quarterback at lower levels of football, getting some action as well. And then Jaws in the Wildcat, also playing a little bit of quarterback tonight. Seeing a lot of these Lakers guys down depth chart come in and get some action, and playing well so far for the Lakers. Up 7-0 here with about 38 seconds to go.
Brandon Davis Swain coming off the field limping and actually not putting any weight at all at his left ankle. That does not look real good. We'll see if we can get some more information on that one as well. But that's the kind of, you see these high school players bounce back from these things in a play or two, but that does not look really good, Tyler.
Yeah, hopefully just a simple twisted ankle, and he'll let the stinger wave off and walk a little bit and come back in. 3rd down now for Lake Orion Dragons. 3rd and about 13 yards. T.R. Hill in the shotgun. Roberson, actually it's McCartan now back in, with Roberson at the running back. Snap to McCartan, gets a little bit of time, loses contain. Davis chasing him down, so is Stephen Fountain. He just throws that ball away. 4th down coming ahead for the Lake Orion Dragons as McCartan comes up under immense pressure and has to ditch that play.
No receiver anywhere in the area, but he was well outside of the pocket. They will not call intentional grounding there, but a really good job by the Laker defense to create all kinds of pressure there and force Lake Orion to punt now.
Yeah, Lakers doing a good job keeping pressure in the backfield, not letting the misdirection and the motion before the play throw them off, as has been kind of characteristic in the last few weeks. As we're approaching the end of the first quarter, 4th down for Lake Orion. They'll punt the ball off at their own 15-yard line. Snap to Jones, and the punt is off. This time much better than last time. Going to kick that ball out of bounds. It actually lands inbounds about the 40-yard line, bounces back to the 45, 46, just barely stays in bounds. That ball will be down at about the 32-yard line after a friendly roll for the Dragons with 18 seconds to go in the first.
Well, Lake Orion just doing a good job managing that punt very well. Lakers wise not to pick that thing up and just let the thing run out, and now we'll see what happens here. Lakers are going to end up with great field position. They're leading 7-0, and things going pretty well. But, you know, again, we have injuries. We got a bunch of key players out of the contest tonight, and Lakers are getting creative with their personnel.
First down and 10 for West Bloomfield, going to be placed at their 32-yard line. Under center, in the shotgun actually this time, it's going to be Samaj Morgan, Kenneth Jones III immediately to his right. Single man to the left is Joshua Tate in motion. Snap to Morgan, hands off to Tate. Great block by Kenneth Jones. Tate shifts inside, gets up to about the 34-yard line, maybe 33.5-yard line, taken down with seconds ticking off the clock here in the first quarter. Both teams going to head to the sideline. That is going to do it for the first quarter. Lakers 7, Lake Orion 0. You're watching Laker football and listening to it across our network here in Greater West Bloomfield.
Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
If your pet could tell you where you should shop for him or her, it'd be a place run by pet lovers. With hard-to-find food, toys, and gifts, with pet-friendly people and services, and great advice from people who really know pets, it'd be a place where his friends hang out, even that old guy, where there's a surprise around every corner. If your pets could tell you, they'd recommend Premier Pet Supply, but pets can't talk. Or can they? Premier Pet Supply, the place pets love.
Welcome back to Laker football. Going to go right back into the action. Brody Pecor in the shotgun, snap, and then a whistle. Going to be a penalty. And they're going to reset this play and replay it. It is a false start on the Lakers. They'll set them back 5 yards as we kick off this second quarter here in West Bloomfield. 11:57, just 3 seconds coming off the clock as they started off that play. So after the penalty, 5-yard penalty, it's going to be second down now. They'll take the down. Second down and about 13, 14 yards for the Lakers. Pecor in the shotgun. One man in the backfield with him is Ralph Rogers. Twins to the right, snapping the fake handoff to Tate. Pecor going to take it up the middle and quickly tackled by Lake Orion. On the tackle is going to be Caden DeGraffenreid.
So part of the story tonight has got to be the players that are out of this game, and a couple of really big key ones. Brandon Davis Swain is now up and walking around. Maybe he's going to get back in the game. Seems like he's doing okay on that slight ankle twist we had earlier. And then Rick Nance, the quarterback of the Lakers, all season long, also out of the game. They say he will not play tonight.
Third down for the Lakers coming up now. In the shotgun is going to be Samaj Morgan way back there along with Kenneth Jones III. Snap to Morgan, looking for a pass. Contain breaks, he runs it left and take it to the 30, to the 40-yard line, puts his shoulder down, breaks the tackle, and gets about the 49-yard line, sticks to it, and gets a big first down.
Well, you got to remember, this is not your average high school quarterback. This is Samaj Morgan. Don't forget who's got the ball in the backfield. He doesn't find anybody. He tucks it, he runs, and now you've got one of the most elite runners in the state of Michigan in the open field. Big gain for West Bloomfield, Samaj Morgan.
First down and 10 for the Lakers at their 49-yard line. Pecor at the quarterback in the shotgun. In the backfield with him, Ralph Rogers and Kenneth Jones III. Twins to the right, Samaj Morgan and Trenton Allison, single man to the left. Actually, left is Samaj Morgan. Snap to Pecor, he'll hand it off to Jaws, tries to take it up the middle, gets a nice little break, and he's still on his feet at the 40. Big first down, pushes down to about the 36 for the Lakers.
You know, watch a replay in this one, because a lot of times these days you'll see a bunch of players coming and pushing the running back. This is all Jaws. He is moving the stack on his own. Look, it's just him, and now he's pushing and pushing and pushing and gaining all kinds of yards.
Another first down for the Lakers. Pecor in at quarterback in the shotgun. Rogers and Jaws in the backfield. Hand off to Jaws. He'll take it right around the edge. Shifty move, gets a few yards there. 2, maybe 3, and it'll be second down.
And there was just nothing there for Jaws on that play, but he's able to just make a little quick cut to the right, evade one of the tacklers. Watch this. Nice cut right there. Gets free, busts through another one, and ends up with a 3 or 4 yard gain on something that should have been absolutely nothing.
2nd down and 7 for the Lakers. Pecor still in at the quarterback. Jaws immediately to his right. Also in the backfield is Ralph Rogers. Twins to the left. Snap to Pecor. Hands off to Jaws. Going to take it around the left edge. Going to get a block from Morgan. Nope, they get around it. Taken down. Going to be a slight loss off the tackle again by Caden DeGraffenreid.
Yeah, how many syllables is in that guy's last name?
All of them.
DeGraffenreid does a really good job, is able to maintain, contain. Jaws can turn on the speed, but he cannot get outside because a really good tackle by Lake Orion there.
7-0 Laker lead in the 2nd quarter. Time ticking, about 10:13 to go in the half. Brody Pecor still going to be in at quarterback, having a nice game so far. Jaws and Rogers in the backfield with them. Single man out left, wide. Samaj Morgan, twins to the right. Jaws going to take this one in, the Wildcat with Pecor to his left. Snap to Jaws, he'll fake that handoff, reads it, takes himself up the middle, gets a few yards, and a couple of Dragons there to take him down. It's going to be Kinney and DeGraffenreid.
All these guys that are in at quarterback tonight, every one of them can run the ball. So it really creates a threat for Lake Orion. Lakers, any of these quarterbacks get in trouble tonight. None of them are really quarterbacks. They're running backs. They're guys that can run the ball in the open field really well, and they continue to get yardage.
4th and short for West Bloomfield, bunch formation. You see Montel Johnson and Kari Jackson in as fullback. Jaws in the Wildcat. Gonna go for it. Snap to Jaws, takes it up the middle, fighting for it. Looks like he got the first down. Nice power play for the West Bloomfield Lakers, putting the big guns in there and pushing the running back forward.
They're going to move the chains, and here they go. The officials say absolutely. And this is a play we've seen all year long, okay? Just powering right through the offensive line and the defensive line. Kenneth Jones III can get 2 or 3 yards anytime he wants.
8:51 to go in the half. Lakers 7, Dragons 0. Jaws in the Wildcat. Pecor to his immediate left, the fullback. Snap to Jaws. Going to get a great block by Pecor. Takes it up, big out. Nothing but space. On his feet. Touchdown, West Bloomfield. Kenneth Jones III gets a great opening. Gets an even better block. And takes it into the end zone once again for the Lakers. 13-0 is the lead.
Well, maybe the Lakers stumbled upon a whole new offensive schematic tonight by running guy after guy after guy at the defense and really making it happen on the ground. This is a team that's been putting up big numbers this year in the air, tonight on the ground.
8:07 in the half. 13-0 now the score in favor of the L Boys here at West Bloomfield High School. Great start to homecoming night. Justin Ward going to come in for the PAT. Trenton Allison will be his holder once again. Chance to make this a 2-score lead. Ball is snapping, a high snap, a hold for Trenton Allison. Broken up, kick is up, and it is no good. Going to go right. Maybe a little bit of contact. 13-0 Lakers with 8:07 to go in the half. You're watching and listening to Laker football.
If your pet could tell you where you should shop for him or her, it'd be a place run by pet lovers. With hard-to-find food, toys, and gifts, with pet-friendly people and services, and great advice from people who really know pets, it'd be a place where his friends hang out, even that old guy, where there's a surprise around every corner. If your pets could tell you, they'd recommend Premier Pet Supply. But pets can't talk. Or can they? Premier Pet Supply, the place pets love.
Welcome back to Laker Football, 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Learn more about our broadcast and find us on demand and all the places you can watch Laker Football live on civiccentertv.com/Lakersports. L-Boys 13, Dragons 0.
Beautiful Friday night lights here in West Bloomfield. Homecoming night, sun is setting, but it's all sunshine here for the West Bloomfield Lakers, leading 13-0. Play-by-play tonight, Todd O'Keefe.
8:07 to go in the half. The Lakers going to line it up after a really nice touchdown run by Kenneth Jones III. Great blocking, excellent play execution in the red zone. The Lakers 2-score lead with about 8 minutes to go in the half. Krauthammer lines it up left hash on the Lakers side at the 40-yard line. Going to kick it off to Lake Orion's Dorian Hill. Short kick, nice little hang time. Going to land about the 20-yard line for Lake Orion. It's going to be returned about the 20, get up to about the 24-yard line and stuffed. Kari Jones on the tackle along with some support. The returner there ended up being Darren Jones Jr.
Well, good job. Kari Jackson with that amazing tackle right there. And, you know, he's just your ultimate special teams player. He pursues, he gets down the field quickly, he goes right to his target, and then he does not let the guy break free in the open field.
Long, athletic strength guy, 6'2", 210-pound junior for West Bloomfield. Coming back this year after spending a year at IMG Academy in Florida. So the Dragons coming out on the field, they will start at their own 24-yard line. First down and 10 for Lake Orion with 7:20 to go in the first half. Under center is going to be McCartan. Man in motion is Jones Jr. They're going to hand it off to him. He's going to take it out the left side. Gets about the 30, the 25-yard line. Still on his feet about the 30. Flag on the field. They'll get down about the 33-yard line. And it'll be second down.
Not sure what the penalty is here. Maybe a hold, but on the replay, if we get it, let's keep an eye on Billy Roberson the second. Doing a great job, even if we don't see it, with the lead block there. And if that play materializes, it's because of him. But there is a hold against Lake Orion.
10-yard penalty. Keep first down.
Not going to be a spot foul, of course. Those holding penalties. Going to be repeating the down, setting them back 10. It's going to be first down and 20 now for Lake Orion after that run. Dragons down 13 points. Lead for the Lakers 13-0 here in the second period. 6:21 to go in the half. McCartan will be under center again for Lake Orion. Twins to the right, twins to the left. One man in the backfield is Billy Roberson. McCartan looking over to the sideline, getting some signals from Chris Bell and company. Gets back under center after giving a signal to Roberson. Lakers 3 linebackers set. Whistle blows. We'll see what this is about. Might be a timeout for Chris Bell and company.
I think they're calling a delay a game.
That is. Delay a game. They ran out of time discussing that play, getting set, deciding what they're going to do to move forward after reading that Laker defense. They're going to get set back again, repeating first down now.
Another opportunity for me to get my greatest pet peeve in high school sports in. Without a clock, how does a quarterback manage that? I really don't know. It didn't seem too long to me. You almost have to kind of guess at it.
Going to be second down now, the marking on the field for the Lake Orion Dragons. Second down and 25. McCartan under center for Lake Orion. He snaps the ball, going to hand off to Jones Jr. No, it's Roberson. He takes it out. About the 20, about the 19-yard line. Ball carries Raymond Payne, the wide receiver. Third down.
Lakers doing a good job not letting him turn the corner. Samaj Morgan along with Jameer Benjamin. Just keep an eye on him. He tries to continue to work around the perimeter, but he cannot make it. Great pursuit by the Laker D.
Second level defensive support. Been a strong suit for the Lakers all season long. Lake Orion going to set up again. McCartan under center. Nope. He's going to go into the shotgun now. Single man to his right is Billy Roberson. Twins to the left for the Dragons. Single man to the right. And a snap to McMartin. He throws the ball out to Billy Roberson. Going to catch the ball. Take it about the 20 to the 25-yard line. A little bit of a gainer. They'll be finally past that 10-yard marker there. And it'll be a third down.
Great job by the Lakers, and Davis almost gets him. Really nice pressure. Actually, that is not correct. That was Steve Fountain, but he almost gets him in the backfield. Quarterback makes a nice pass to be able to complete that one.
Third down now for Lake Orion. Lined up at their own 26-yard line. McCartan in the shotgun. Single man in the backfield. Snap to McCartan. Getting chased. Losing contain. Throws it out. It is caught at about the 31-yard line. Takes it to the sideline. It's going to be Raymond Payne again.
Well, Raymond Payne does what you want your receiver to do. Keep an eye on him. He's going to run a route right to the first down marker and get himself very close. He was just a little bit short of the first down, though, Tyler. So I take that back, but it looked like he had the first down from my original perspective. Pretty nice route, but obviously a little short for Lake Orion.
Yeah, I was trying to gauge if that was going to be a first down. It's going to be fourth and short for Lake Orion. They're going to bring that punt team out, give the ball up to West Bloomfield. About 5 minutes to go in the first half. Lakers 13 and Lake Orion 0. And Jones will be back to kick this off. Caleb Jones for the Dragons. Back to return for West Bloomfield. Samaj Morgan. Short kick, high hang time, going toward the sideline and going to be out of bounds. Lakers looking at the sideline, thinking maybe another penalty on a little bit of a hit, but out of bounds. Lakers will take over with some very, very good field position.
I don't know if we saw that on camera. The big crowd reaction was the cheerleaders almost got hit by the football. That's how far out of bounds it came, all the way almost right into the middle of the track. And you know what I'm thinking about that, Tyler? I'm thinking kick it anywhere but not near Samaj Morgan. And that's kind of what we've been seeing. That might not have been such a bad play.
Yeah, Morgan was back, so was Deontay Pippen. That was in the direction of Deontay. First down and 10 for the West Bloomfield Lakers at the Lake Orion 40-yard line. Lakers 13, Dragons 0, 5:02 to play in the first half. Brody Pecor going to be in the shotgun. Single man in the backfield with him is Kenneth Jones III. Tate wide left, going to be in motion. They're going to hand it off to Jones. Takes it up the middle, getting some space. 35 down to about the 33-yard line, 34-yard line. And a nice gainer, second down for the Lakers.
Kenny Jones does a nice job here. Watch him set up this run. A little bit patient at the beginning, and then he turns on the afterburners. He waits for his blocks to set up. Boom, good block there. Finds a hole, and then he turns it on and gets a nice run. Good discipline running by the Lakers.
2nd and 3 for West Bloomfield. 4:35 to go in the half. Brody Pecor, the quarterback, and Jones in the backfield. Single man wide to the right, single man short to the left is Tate. Snap to Pecor, fake handoff to Tate. He's going to escape the tackler, take it about the 30-yard line, puts his shoulder down, and steps out of bounds. Very close to that first down line. Going to probably be a little bit short, 3rd and short for West Bloomfield.
Well, we've talked about all kinds of people that can run the ball. Here's another one. Pecor takes the ball, thinks about handing it off, and then nice stiff arm, breaks free, gets more yardage, knocked out of bounds. Is there anyone on this team who can't run the ball?
First down markers at the 30. They initially had it 3rd and inches. They're going to move the chains now, so first down for the L-Boys. Time ticking in the first half, just under 4 minutes to play.
You know, there's another sophomore in this team that's going to be a bright part of our future here, Tyler.
Brody Pecor, the quarterback. In the backfield with him is Jaws. Snapping a handoff to Jaws. Breaks the tackle. Gets a couple of yards on first down, and a nice second chance there for Kenneth Jones, making something out of it as well.
Well, just your garden variety run there for Kenny Jones. Absolutely nothing. Anybody else would have been stopped at the line of scrimmage, but we watch here, and he's able to just bowl through the offensive line, break 2 tackles, and get 30 yards. Kenny Jones.
Lakers 2nd down and 7 with 3:44 to go in the first half. Brody Pecor will continue at quarterback. It's going to be a penalty on Lake Orion. They're going to move that ball forward. Chain's going to move also. And now it's going to be a first down and great territory for West Bloomfield. They'll move inside the red zone. That ball going to be placed at the 14-yard line of Lake Orion. Lakers already up 13-0. Pecor getting the signal from the sideline from offensive coordinator Ken Rise. He stays in the quarterback. Jaws in the backfield with him. Twins to the left, Morgan and Josh Tate. Pecor puts Tate in motion. Snap to Pecor, fakes the handoff to Tate. He takes it, jukes to his left, puts his shoulder down, gets hit hard. Nice little gainer for West Bloomfield, second down. Caleb Jones, the tackler.
Another really good run there by the quarterback. Again, can't find anything. Maybe it was a design play. Thinks about the jet sweep. Now keeps the ball. Finds a little hole and able to give what his offensive line hands to him and make something out of it.
Second down for West Bloomfield. It is 2nd and 10. They got to get the ball down about the 4-yard line. Snapping a handoff to Tate. They're going to take it up the middle. Still on his feet. Touchdown, West Bloomfield. It's going to be Joshua Tate, the sophomore.
All right, good job by Josh Tate. Let's watch this one. See what happens here. Pecor, the quarterback, is going to hand it off to Tate on the jet sweep. And then Tate decides to cut it inside. So they set that one up, Tyler, as a jet sweep all the way around the outside. And he either options right up and finds a big hole, or maybe that was the design. Looked like the design of the play.
Again, excellent blocking for the Lakers, particularly in those A gaps, opening up some holes, even with a little bit of patience for these West Bloomfield running backs. Great game so far for Jones. Great game so far for guys in the backfield like Tate also. Lakers going to go for 2 now, up 19-0, 3:44 to go in the first half. Samaj Morgan going to be lined up in quarterback. Empty backfield, trips to the right, twins to the left. DeAndre Hill and Jackson lined out to the left. Morgan going to put Jackson in double motion. He's going to take the snap, looks to throw to his left to Jackson, is caught and inbounds, but it's going to be whistled off. Dead play. That would have been with that completion in the end zone. But they call false start, so they're going to have to redo this.
Well, that was too bad because that was beautiful. Lakers set it up as a jet sweep, and then they cut back the other way, and no one is in the end zone protecting Jalen Jackson, who was running the jet sweep and then just cuts back, goes to the corner of the end zone on the opposite side of the field. That is a really nice design play. Hopefully we'll see that again.
So now the kicking team going to come in. Morgan comes off the field. Instead, Justin Ward and Trenton Allison, the holder, coming in for West Bloomfield. They will kick the PAT, trying to make this a 20-0 game with 3:44 to go in the half. Signal, snap, good hold. Ball is up. Kick is between the uprights and good. 20-0 West Bloomfield. Lakers in the lead. We'll stick right here as the Lakers now taking full control of this game. Multi-score lead, up 20-0.
All right, I'm just going to be honest, Tyler. I thought last week the Lakers played dumb. I think this week they're playing a brilliant game, well coached and well executed. They're taking the situation they've been handed. They don't have their quarterback available to them, so they're using everything at their disposal. Bringing in all these guys, some guys we haven't seen a lot of, and other veterans, using them in a different way, and they're running a running offense, but a little bit unconventional. They're running it from using a variety of different quarterbacks, Tyler, that all of them and have the ability to break free in and of themselves. That kind of sets up a nice decoy on every single play when the quarterback can just keep it and go. So they're either running a sweep, they're running a handoff, or a quarterback keeper. They haven't thrown the ball. I don't know if I don't have the stats in front of me. They're really not throwing the ball much. They're making this game happen on the ground, burn up the clock, and really play to their advantage. And that is having so many talented players on the field. Why not feed them the ball?
And using them in ways that these teams really don't have a whole lot of film on.
Right, and not at all.
Second string guys in with the primary guys tonight in a whole lot of different roles and executing those roles to a T. Lakers 20, Lake Orion Dragons 0, 3:44 to go in the second quarter here in the first half. Krauthammer signals. He'll kick this off from the Laker 40-yard line on the left hash. Krauthammer approaching the ball back for Lake Orion. It's going to be Dorian Hill and Pakmara. Short kick, going to be recovered about the 25-yard line. He'll take it up about the 30-yard line. Recovery for Dominic Novak, the junior, for Lake Orion.
I don't know if we're going to catch it in the replay. What a great job by Jameer Benjamin on special teams. He comes down, he gets blocked by two guys, keeping him away from the return man. He busts through the block and is the first man in on that tackle. Watch, gets blocked by two there, busts through it, and somehow comes up with a great tackle. He's a little fired up after that play, too.
Yeah, great tackle, physical tackle. That always gets those guys up front nice and pumped up. First down and 10 for Lake Orion. 3:17 to go in the first half. Connor McCartan, the game manager quarterback in the Lake Orion 12, going to be the gunslinger here under center. Single man in the backfield is going to be Roberson. Out to the right, it's going to be Jones Jr. and Dorian Hill. Twins also to the left. Hill Jr. in motion, snapping a handoff to Roberson. He'll take it up for maybe 2-3 yards, and it's going to be second down and 7.
Nice tackle by Gabriel right here for the Lakers. Let's just watch. Good solo tackle coming right at him, and he just grabs on, holds on, and makes a world-class, nice solo tackle. Look at that. Boom! Brings him right down.
Shifty move for the junior edge rusher for West Bloomfield. Second down, about 7 yards to go for Lake Orion Dragons. McCartan under center, single man in the backfield. McCartan hands the ball off to Roberson. Going to take it up the middle. Tries to take it right A-gap. Doesn't get much. If anything, going to be third down, about 6 yards for Lake Orion.
Well, it's not going to be easy to run through, Kari Jackson and this defensive line. Gabriel again right there on that play.
Lakers 20, Lake Orion Dragons 0, 2:52 and counting to go in the half. McCartan, the quarterback, going to remain in the game for Lake Orion. They run that two-quarterback system. He's in the shotgun, trips to the left. Snap to McCartan, going to go in the pocket, looks to throw to his right side. Pass is caught and complete to Dominic Novak. He'll take the ball down to about the 45-yard line. Going to be a first down for Lake Orion Dragons, finally connecting in the air.
Well, really a nice job here as the quarterback for Lake Orion getting some really good protection has time, gets the pass off, caught, and then the Lakers need little help on the tackle there. Thank goodness Kari Jackson was there to lend an assist.
McCartan, the senior quarterback for Lake Orion. First down now for the Dragons at their 45-yard line. McCartan under center, single man in the backfield, twins to each side. One man in motion for Lake Orion. They'll hand it off to Roberson. Fights off a tackle. He's not going to get it. Down in the backfield again. Jonathan Gabriel, 91 on the call and making these tackles.
What is it? Play after play after play. Gabriel is on fire tonight. We've not been calling his number a lot this season. He's doing great tonight.
And good to see Brandon Davis Swain back in on the opposite edge. But 91 making the plays tonight. Underrated performance all season long. Nice to see. Second down now for Lake Orion at their 46-yard line. Snap to McCartan, going to roll outside the pocket, looking for a pass down the field, going to be thrown incomplete, in and out of the hands of Darren Jones Jr. Had that ball in midair while he's spinning at about the 47-yard line.
Well, he and Mrs. Jones, that's an old musical reference, by the way, are going to really be upset when they watch this replay when they get home tonight. He had that one. That would have been a big play.
Laser beam in the air there. Now going to be third down for Lake Orion. McCartan in the shotgun, takes the snap, gets a little bit of a pocket. Now he has to roll outside. It breaks. He's trying to launch down the field, going to throw it in the hands of Dorian Hill and then knocked. No, he caught that. He pulled that down. That's a nice physical catch for Dorian Hill, the senior slot receiver.
They're targeting Deontay Pippin a little bit in the backfield, and they keep going and throwing to him and the receiver he's defending. They're able to jump high, get the ball, come down with a completion. Just a solid catch there and a good play by Dorian Hill.
First down to Laker 44. Snap to McCartan. He'll throw past about the 44-yard line and caught. It's going to be Billy Roberson on the reception. No gain. Second down for the Dragons.
You know why no gain? Number 9, Kari Jackson right there. Watch the replay. He is Johnny on the spot. The receiver is wide open, but just check this great tackle here by Kari Jackson.
Lake Orion going to take a timeout, discuss this. They're finally in Laker territory. Down 20 points. Time ticking in the first half, trying to get on the board, have some sort of momentum. Knowing that this Laker team gets the ball to start the second half. They deferred after winning the kickoff, winning the coin toss, scored 20 consecutive points off of 3 touchdowns, a reception for DeAndre Hill, a rush for Jaws, and another one for Tate, up 20-0 for the Lakers.
So Brandon Davis Swain back in the game. That's good news. Twisted his ankle. But what is the team doing tonight? When one man is down, the next man steps up. Jonathan Gabriel gets his opportunity tonight, and he was doing a great job while Swain was on the bench.
And give these opposite edge rushers their credit. A platoon between Stephen Fountain and Jonathan Gabriel on the opposite edge of Swain all season long. Snap to McCartan for Lake Orion. Going to take the ball up the middle. He has an opening now. Just going to run with it. Johnson chasing him, but McCartan's going to fight for it. Get that first down. And Lake Orion continues to march up the field. Don't move the chains.
Yeah, good decision on that play by the quarterback. He just found a big hole, seam in the defense, exploited it for a big gainer for Lake Orion.
First down and 10 for the Dragons at the Laker 32-yard line. McCartan will stay in the game. That game manager quarterback for the Dragons. Single man in the backfield, twins to either side. Snap to McCartan. Gonna get a pocket, got some time, looking out for a big pass down the field, and it is incomplete, in and out of the hands of Raymond Payne, and a great contest by Samaj Morgan.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get the replay here or not, but that ball was thrown high, and a good job by the quarterback because he throws it where only his receiver can really get the ball. Look at this. Samaj can't jump that high, but he hits the receiver just the right time, shakes the ball loose. Great job in the secondary by our rock star, Samaj Morgan.
Yeah, when in doubt, just go for the ball with that shoulder pad. That's what Samaj did there. Second down and 10 now for Lake Orion. They stay at the Lakers' 32-yard line. McCartan going to remain the quarterback, talking it over. 53 seconds to go in the first half. He's in the shotgun. Roberson immediately to his left in the backfield. Snap to McCartan. Taking a 5-step drop, getting chased, throws the ball outside. It is caught by Roberson. Going to take it to the 30-yard line, down about the 25, near the marker, and out of bounds. He's going to be marked at the 24-yard line for West Bloomfield.
Well, I'll tell you what, big Laker blitz on that time. but the Lake Orion quarterback is able to maintain control, move around in the pocket, find the open man, get the ball downfield, and get a nice gain.
3rd down and inches. Not much really left to go. The ball is placed at the 24-yard line. A little bit ahead of the 24-yard line is the 1st down marker. McCartan under center, bunch formation. The Twins left for Lake Orion. Man in motion is Payne. Snap and a handoff. A whistle blows. This play is dead.
Timeout West Bloomfield.
Yeah, Lakers take their first timeout. Little bit of increased strategy now coming into play. Lake Orion takes the timeout to discuss things, how they're going to drive in Laker territory. West Bloomfield now, as Lake Orion is pushing into Laker territory with seconds remaining in the half, trying to get on the board before we go to halftime here on homecoming night at West Bloomfield High School. They want to talk it over because Lake Orion, they're starting to move down the field.
Yeah, it's a really, really smart timeout. First of all, give your defense a chance to get a little breather, okay? It's been a long, sustained drive. Second of all, the Lakers are going to get the ball to start the second half. If they can stop Lake Orion here, this is huge. Last thing you want to do is give a team that you've dominated in the first half a little dose of confidence by letting them get on the board with just a couple of seconds left in the half. Lakers need a big stand here on this 3rd down and 1, and they got a good strategy and the right defense on the field now.
McCartan again under center, inches to go. Looks like he's looking for a sneak. Lakers thinking about it too. McCartan takes the snap, gonna go into the pocket, tries to make a throw, hit as he throws it in the end zone, incomplete. Double coverage and double flags as well.
Well, that's what you didn't want. You didn't want a pass interference call. That's going to give Lake Orion 1st and 10. And no question, a lot of contact. We'll watch it here, Tyler.
Yeah, let's take a look at that coverage. Did these defensive backs make a look back? Unclear. Didn't look like there was a look back initially off that contact from Jameer Benjamin. They are going to call PI. It's going to move that ball forward. Lake Orion now really in a good spot here. With seconds remaining in the half, going to be 1st down and 10, not and goal. This ball placed at the Laker 12-yard line. McCartan in the shotgun. Single man in the backfield is Roberson. 23 seconds to go in the half. Snap to McCartan. Throws it up the left side. Incomplete and then stuffed after the incompletion. That ball is intended for Dominic Novak, and he just gets absolutely rocked. Let's take a look at this.
Watch as Novak is going to try to do one of these beautiful one-armed catches, and he almost does it, and he would have pulled it off, but now number 9 shows up. Kari Jackson, boom! And I think he heard the steps and saw him coming at him and went to protect himself, and the ball came free.
2nd down and 10 with just 12 seconds to go in the first half for Lake Orion. McCartan in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking for a quick throw, gonna go toward the end zone, intercepted! Lakers have the ball at Samaj at the 10, the 15, and 20. 30 on his feet, got some space. Morgan, nothing but green at the 30. Takes it down to the 20, shifty move on his feet. Pick 6, Samaj Morgan. Time expires in the half, and that is bye-bye. Samaj takes it to the house, and that jukebox at full volume.
I think that was a 99 or 100-yard return, Tyler. Let's watch. Here's the whole play. Good job, John Atwater. Interception in the end zone, but watch this run back from Samaj. He was right at the 1-yard line. Now he breaks that tackle right there, looking downfield. Watch him look downfield. He's looking all over the field for the next opportunity. We'll see more of it in a couple of minutes, but Samaj really doing a good job. And then I was kind of surprised at the end of that play when he cut infield. I thought he had it on the sideline, but Samaj Morgan, I'm not going to second guess him. I'm going to call that a 97-yard touchdown return on the interception.
With the pick 6, 26-0 Lakers. Gonna go for the PAT. Ward in for the kick. Again, Trenton Allison gonna be the holder. No time left in the half. This will determine the halftime score. Ball is snapped a little bit high. Held by Allison. Kick is up. Kick is good. 27-0. Gonna be the score at halftime. Your Lakers in the lead. Shutout. 27-0.
All right, let's go back and look at the rest of this run back. So here's Samaj Morgan coming along the near sideline. He's looking on the other side of the field. He doesn't like what's in front of him, getting ready to cut. Now he cuts inside, evades another tackler, and then he's open and free to the end zone.
Well, I think the reason he did that, he saw a little bit of a pinch up the field. Connor McCartan, the quarterback, Billy Roberson, the junior running back, kind of closing in on him as he's shifting away from the sideline. That's why he makes that move. Smart play by the senior captain, Samaj Morgan. That is going to do it for the half. 27 for the Lakers, 0 on the board for the Lake Orion Dragons following the pick 6. We'll be back with the Laker halftime show. You're watching and listening to Laker football on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
If your pet could tell you where you should shop for him or her, it'd be a place run by pet lovers. With hard-to-find food, toys, and gifts, with pet-friendly people and services, and great advice from people who really know pets, it'd be a place where his friends hang out, even that old guy, where there's a surprise around every corner. If your pets could tell you, they'd recommend Premier Pet Supply, but pets can't talk. Or can they? Premier Pet Supply, the place pets love.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Welcome back to Laker football right here in 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com. Civic Center TV, you can watch it there in high definition, of course, on our civiccentertv.com site, and also check it out on Channel 15 tonight on your local cable. But we'd love you to go to YouTube and comment in there if you get a chance at youtube.com and look for civiccentertv.com's channel. If you get in there and you subscribe to the channel, it'd be great. We'll let you know about all of our upcoming broadcasts. If you'd like to go to the West Bloomfield Schools Facebook page, you can go there as well. Wherever you go, you're going to see the amazing Samaj Morgan make a play that will remain in his highlight reel, Tyler. We got the film here. We got the tape. We're not going to let go of it, okay? A return that was absolutely amazing. Pure classic Samaj Morgan comes up with a great interception, and now that we went back during the break and looked at the interception, it was a 1-yard deep interception in the end zone, and then he brings the ball all the way out. We'll look at that run in a minute. Right now, though, we're taking a look at some of the floats. It's homecoming night, and we got our cameras right down on the track here at West Bloomfield High School, and here come all the homecoming floats. Tyler, I can't see from that angle what year is what, but normally don't they bring the freshmen first, and then they bring the sophomores? And so I'm going to assume that's the sophomore float right there. And the Jeep, I'm going to think, is got to be the junior float that we're going to get here in a minute. It's coming back into the shot here in just a second. Here it comes. Maybe John can open that up and stay with that. This is the junior float here. Wow, really nice. A lot of work. Juniors are all fired up. And then here comes the senior float here on homecoming. Did you work on your float, Tyler, in your homecoming year?
I did not. No, I was in the broadcast booth in my senior year for our homecoming soccer game. Really interesting game, actually, was. Of course, the football team in 2013.
That would be a really good float if we were on the other side of it. But our cameras, unfortunately, it's very cool. We maybe can get it from one of the high cameras here real quick. There we go. And it is a really nice Halloween float there. Here we go. Now we're going to see it right now. The guys can get it. All right, let's see if we can get that. There we go. Here it comes. have the guys stick with that. That is a senior float, and that is amazing. Beautiful float here for the fall and for Halloween. So it is homecoming night here in West Bloomfield. Couldn't be better. 27-0, Tyler, at halftime. Dave Scott, Tyler Keith, thanking you for tuning in. And let's go back now. Good job, John. Let's go back now and look at that replay of the interception and then the touchdown return, 101-yard return for Samaj Morgan. Now, here's the interception first.
Yeah, McCartan had it in the shotgun. Definitely looking to pass. Had some time. Kind of rushed that pass before his receiver is able to turn back around. Morgan gets in front of it, breaks a tackle, and then it's all space heading toward the sideline. That's why he's able to get past the 50-yard line and get so far down the field. Look at that shifty move as he takes it away from Dorian Hill, one of the best players athletically on this Lake Orion team. And then Samaj has space, has the sideline, has blockers, and Deontay Pippin and Brandon Davis-Swain. And there you have that little bit of a pinch coming as McCartan tries to shift in. As Roberson tries to get there, and then it's all just getting extra space for Morgan. He's shifty, he's athletic, he's got speed. It's just a perfect storm, and no matter which dragon you're flying, you're not catching up to the jukebox.
Good way to put it. I'm laughing because Samaj is so fast. He knows that he can cut inside his own blocking, get away from Pippin, who is doing a really good job blocking for him, and actually staying ahead of him, and then cut inside and find another path to the end zone. You know, some runners have just such unbelievable field vision, and if you can kind of tell in that replay when he's running down the field, and if you look at his head, I don't know if we can show that one more time, John, the shot where he's running right down the sideline. I want you to watch this one more time and look at the way where his head is. So look at, he's swiveling around. His head is up. He's not looking down. He's looking ahead, and he's already plotting that course, right?
Yeah, he's just looking inside because he knows that's where those blockers are coming. I got the sideline, got all this space forward. So where are my blockers going? And beyond that, where are the upfield guys, those speed guys, McCartan, Roberson and company, that are coming back and chasing me down? Where are they going to be in 10, 15, 20 yards, makes the perfect play, those perfect reads, and use his athleticism to escape where Lake Orion's going to be and utilize his blockers up the field perfectly.
Yeah, nice play by the Lakers and Samaj Morgan. We would have been happy had the Lakers just got off the field, but then they go back, get off the field with an interception, add 7, add a lot of drama. And we were saying, well, you don't want to give Lake Orion anything to be excited about at halftime. Now it's like, oh, my gosh, they're in halftime going, what hit us? It's 27-0, and the Samaj Morgan freight train just ran us over.
And it's a perfect lesson, too, for the L boys going into the locker room of just what you can do, just how quickly that momentum can shift when you stick to your game plan, when you stick to what's being called on the field and you execute your assignments. You can make some great plays and shift that momentum in just one quick moment like that. Lake Orion's marching up the field. They're getting their passing game involved. Connor McCartan is managing an excellent drive with time expiring in the half, getting up the field, makes a great pass, maybe a split second ahead of his receiver, and Morgan is in the right spot, covering his guy correctly, gets in front of the football, doesn't get too excited about bringing it down and making a play, makes the interception, and then goes forward with whatever he has and executes perfectly. That's exactly what they're preaching. That's exactly what they wanted to see, and we've seen that be done. The execution has been on point for the L boys all throughout this game so far. That's why they're up 27 at the half.
Halftime here in West Bloomfield. They got to have a name, the Palm Squad here. I'm sure they have some other designation that I'm missing here. My sincere apologies to them. You know who they are. I'm sure I'll get an email. I'm sure I'll get an email after the game. The marching band will be performing here shortly. All the fun and festivity that you would expect on a Laker homecoming night. They'll be coming out here in a couple of minutes. What are you looking at, Tyler?
Just a packed house, standing room only on the hill. Absolutely jammed up here. The Swamp is loud and proud tonight, having a great game themselves, keeping this one of the great environments in Southeast Michigan for high school football under the lights on Fridays.
Well, I mean, that's just part of where this program has evolved into. Cheerleaders out on the field, and while that is going on, take a minute or two and talk about what's coming up here on Tyler as we look ahead to next week. We're back home one more time. It seems like we're home every week.
Yeah, it does. And you know what? Great schedule line for West Bloomfield as they get into the later portions of OAA Red Division play. They've gotten through kind of the thick of it, going up against those at the top of the division and already playing Rochester Adams last week, Clarkston the week before that, Stony Creek earlier on in the season, and Lake Orion tonight. Last one left on the docket is going to be Oxford before they cross over the OAA Red and go into the OAA White against a team that's having a really good season themselves in Southfield A&T. But this OAA Red schedule, no matter which team you're looking at, no matter which perspective you're taking, a really tough season for all these teams going up against such great competition in their division. That's why you're seeing kind of these mixes of records with teams that are typically right there contending for state championships. Not only are they playing tough opponents in their division, they're scheduling tough opponents in their non-division games.
So let's take a minute. I just want to share a couple of thoughts. Then we'll take a break and come back here. But, you know, what a great job by the coaching staff for tonight. You come in, you've lost your leading quarterback. You came off a game where the execution wasn't good. There were certainly some breakdowns on the sideline. There were some problems. You had way, way, way too many penalties, and I don't even want to go into that tonight. You've lost your quarterback. Then you get into the game, and you have an injury in Brandon Davis-Swain, one of your key defenders. And now, you know, but even without that, they're shorthanded coming into the game. And what does the coaching staff do? They come up with this great strategy against Lake Orion to mix it up. They're going all Jim Harbaugh tonight. They can't decide who their quarterback is, and it's working out good. They're throwing a quarterback here. They're throwing a quarterback there. They're throwing a quarterback over here. And they really went to all kinds of different options in the backfield. And really, Tyler, this Laker team has got a lot of really talented people that can throw the ball, that can take the snap, and that can hand the ball off effectively, and every one of them can, in and of themselves, go run the ball successfully. You know, and and we've seen certainly Kenny Jones all season taking direct snaps, and Samaj Morgan, we know he can play quarterback, and then we have our backup quarterbacks who've been doing a good job. You know, you got 3 or 4 guys that can play quarterback, and that was their strategy tonight. It's working really well.
And you're also really putting a hamper into Lake Orion's offensive strategy, too. They've been running this 2-quarterback system all season long. McCartan started the first game of the season in their loss to Utica Eisenhower. And T.R. Hill, the sophomore quarterback, more of an athletic guy, more of a speed guy in this spread offense under Chris Bell in his first season back at the helm. He started against Oak Park, and you know what really Bell and his staff came to the decision on is, you know, maybe it's better if we have these guys platooning at quarterback in game instead of having a quarterback competition and settling on one. And the Lakers tonight, with their ability to shut down the run for the most part against this Lake Orion team, doing great in the run defense, shutting down plays at the offensive line at the point of attack, they have been able to prevent Lake Orion from using the full scope of their offense, getting that athletic quarterback in there, and forcing Connor McCartan to be in there and game manage, take longer drives, try to get the passing game involved, keeping this offense one-dimensional, really a huge benefit to the defense, and they're getting that benefit because they're executing perfectly.
All right, a lot of nice comments tonight here on the Facebook side. Ernestine Crump, Pastor Earl and Ernestine Crump tuning in tonight. Angela tuning in. Hi, Angela. Good to see you. And then Christopher Haynes takes a moment to say hello to us. Awesome first half. Keep it up, Lakers. Tyler and Dave, you as well. Well, hey, Christopher, we're having a lot of fun, so thank you for your comments. And we'll get over to YouTube and see what's going on over there as well. But thank you very much for tuning in. And we got all kinds of people tuning in and all kinds of people commenting tonight. So thank you very much. Oh, there's some more up here. Let's see if I can get these real quick. Smile and Crump, let's go Lakers. Laurie Eno, go Lakers. Crystal Peterson, let's go WB. A bunch of other ones.
Yeah, and on YouTube Live, Bodied by Rico said, great interception, son, number 8. That's from earlier on in the game. That first interception made by Adrian Epps in the first quarter. That was a great interception indeed. And big thank you to those watching on YouTube Live. Hey, if you're over at the channel, it's your first time watching Laker football, or maybe you're exploring some of our other content while you listen in one tab on our YouTube Live page, why don't you subscribe to our channel and ring that bell so you get notifications too of when we post new content. Our live shows every day, 90 minutes of news, The Splash, 9:30 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday, the MegaCast, 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. Monday through Friday, and plenty of other original
And those
programs.
shows all star who?
Oh, I mean,
Tyler
one
Keefe,
of them.
you know.
Well, just one of them. Only half, Dave. I'm getting everyone else involved here.
Hey,
please.
a big nod to the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, who that they pay the bills here, and that's who we work for, and we would not be able to do these broadcasts without their support. And they are thrilled to be providing this public service to the community. And we really couldn't do this either without the approval and support of the Michigan High School Athletic Association, who's made it possible for groups like us, local broadcasters, to air the games. West Bloomfield High School Marching Band, by the way, down on the field playing the fight song. And then, of course, everyone here, the Erics, Eric Pace, Eric Pierce, our principal and athletic director in West Bloomfield, doing everything they can to make it easy for us, and we really appreciate it. We hope you're enjoying. Last week, Tyler, we had just under 3,000 people tuning in and watching, and I'm sure we got another big crowd, although I think everyone that could be tuning in and watching is here. The stands are jam-packed on this homecoming night. Tons of people over by the concessions. And Tyler, one thing I love doing since this has gotten so popular on Friday nights is I love looking out of the press box over here to the right, and the grassy knoll, I call it, the big hill over there, just beyond the end of the stands. The stands pack up, and you get a lot of fans over there, and it's absolutely jam-packed. And looking across the way, our guests from Lake Orion, a lot of them made the trip here as well tonight. So we welcome you and anybody else who loves high school football around the state of Michigan for tuning in. Really great to have you with us.
You can always join us live each and every week and find all the Laker football on demand, including This Week in Laker Football every week, where we review the previous week's game with Coach Grice, preview the upcoming game, and learn more about some of the Yellow Boys up and down the roster. CivicCenterTV.com/LakerSports.
A couple of other quick things here. First of all, tomorrow is Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday, and we won't see you. But we will see you on Sunday if you want to take an opportunity. If you're in the greater West Bloomfield area, we invite you to come by Fire Station number 1, right next door to West Bloomfield High School, for our fire department open house. It happens during Fire Prevention Month, and we really hope that you come by. Great opportunity to meet the people that keep us safe, our first responders. All you got to do is turn on the TV this week and see what's going on down in Florida. By the way, our hearts and thoughts are with all the people who are suffering from Hurricane Ian. But we really think about our first responders at a time when we see first responders in other communities doing great work, knowing that there'll be a day, there has been, and there will be another day when our first responders will save our lives here in West Bloomfield, and we thank them. So if you appreciate it, plus you want to have a lot of fun with the kids, come on down to the open house. It'll be starting at noon on Sunday, a lot of demonstrations. They burn stuff there. They do. It'll be fun. Come on by. They do it safely, and they're going to teach you how to be safe in your home. Noon to 3 will be there broadcasting live. Well, Tyler will be, and we hope that you come by. I want to say one other real quick thing. I want to thank our sponsors one more time. Orchard Mall, thank you so much for being a part of our broadcast. I know we've been playing your messages here, but I personally want to thank you. And obviously the other people. Premier Pet Supplies in the Orchard Mall. Great place, and we thank everyone there for being a part of our broadcast. Of course, the Michigan Week Committee, and Michigan Week is where we salute volunteerism here with an annual event every year in May. You can go to MichiganWeek.com for more information, or is it .org? .org for more information. Thank you, Tyler. And then who else did I forget?
We got Orchard Mall. We got Premier Pet Supply, Michigan Week, and then Ken and Deb Macon.
That's who I forgot. Sorry, Deb. Sorry, Ken. Ken and Deb Macon, two incredibly involved people in the community, and they just wouldn't have a football season without throwing us a bone. So thank you very much, and we salute both of you for all your hard work in our community. So I think we can take a quick time out, and we'll be back. Third quarter football, Lakers 27 at Lake Orion nothing. We'll be back in just a moment.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. the West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to MichiganWeek.org for details.
Welcome back to Laker football on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM, as well as all of our other outlets. To learn more information, civiccentertv.com/Lakersports. Entering the third quarter, Lakers 27, Lake Orion Dragons 0. Sun is down, nice and dark here at Lakers Stadium at the Swamp. Of course, you can see the Laker bat signal there on West Bloomfield High School tonight on homecoming night. The logo shining on the
Is that what that is, the bat signal?
That's what I call it, Dave. I don't know if that's their official name for it.
Hey, John, any chance you can swing a camera around real quick and show everybody our amazing fans here in our home stands here in West Bloomfield? We've really got a great turnout here tonight, and I know that we're going to do that live. Cool, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So there is a sideline. Stop for 1 second. That's the packed crowd there on the hill there. And then if you keep going, John, you can see the stands are just packed here. It's a homecoming night. There we are up in the press box. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Happy homecoming night. And Tyler and I up here and John and the whole crew. And then the Catonis up there in the moonlight up in the upper deck running the cameras tonight. So, hey, good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you happen to be on this Friday night. It's an honor and a pleasure to serve you and bring you Laker football. There you are, Tyler. See you on TV.
Yes, just a little bit under 2 minutes before we'll get this second half started. Of course, Lakers up 27-0 after a great pick six by Samaj Morgan. One of the plays of the year so far, 101-yard touchdown off the interception. You can kind of rewind if you're on YouTube Live and rewatch if you're just tuning in on YouTube Live, even on Facebook Live as well. Of course, always see this on CivicCenterTV.com.
I'm going to go back as soon as I get home tonight. I'm going to go back and turn on YouTube and watch that thing as if it happened live, because you were going nuts. I think the most fun part of that 101-yard return was your call.
It's one of those moments where how do you not get excited? You see Samaj Morgan intercept the pass. You see nothing but space on the sideline. You know he's taking it back for 6. That's just easy. How can you not have fun with that?
Yeah, Samaj Morgan. Do you think he'll get a chance to return any kicks when he gets up to Ann Arbor?
Oh, totally. Definitely will be something that will be considered there with his speed, his athleticism. That's exactly what Jim Harbaugh and company love in Ann Arbor. So with that, kicking off this second half here at West Bloomfield High School, they'll reset the clock, and Lake Orion this time going to kick it off to West Bloomfield. Of course, West Bloomfield won the toss, deferred to the second half. Even more unfortunate now for Lake Orion, as they are now down 27-0 against the Lakers. They got to kick it off to the Lakers to start the second half, where Dale Boys get in the end zone. This game is way out of hand, approaching mercy territory in the second half. That 35 points plus rule, of course, with the running clock. Making some adjustments, just a little bit of time left in the technical halftime here, so they're going to just wait. Referees waiting to place the ball in the line and whistle this second half into motion here at West Bloomfield.
This is where you do the tease for next week.
Of course. Yeah, next week, again, back here at West Bloomfield High School. Lakers against the Oxford Wildcats, another OAA Red Division matchup, the final OAA Red matchup of the year for the West Bloomfield Lakers.
If you're having fun tonight, get back here next Friday night. More Friday Night Football under the lights.
They got 12 minutes on the clock now, and they're going to kick this ball off. Will Hoffman going to be the kicker for Lake Orion. Samaj Morgan back for the Lakers alongside, it looks like Deontay Pippin. Ball's kicked off by Hoffman in the direction of Pippin, and it's not going to be Pippin, it's going to be Jameer Benjamin, recovers at the 20. Gets about the 25, right hash of the 30. Got some space down about the 35-yard line, and that is where West Bloomfield will start their first drive of the second half. First down and 10 at the 35.
You know, I think technically coaches who would say run that north and south. He elected to run it all the way across to the far sideline. And, you know, why not? I mean, you sit there and you watch Samaj Morgan do that, and you think that, You know, everybody's got a cape with a big S on it, you know, but you got to have all kinds of speed. And I think that in that case, in that kind of a run back, it was a nice run back, but you start running across the field like that sideways. And the other thing that can happen there is that you're more prone to get blocks in the back and holds, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, penalty called. Lakers called for holding. That's going to set them back. Instead, this drive going to start first down and 10 on the Laker 15-yard line. 27-0 for the L Boys. So in at quarterback to start the second half. One of many tonight's going to be Samaj Morgan, Jaws to his right. Pecor also in the backfield, split out to the right in the bunch formation. Snapping a handoff to Ralph Rogers off the left side. Runs it to the 20, the 25, the 30. Got some space at the 40. Running past the 50, still on his feet. Finally taken down inside Lake Orion territory. Just about the 45-yard line on tackle. Austin Kahn, the sophomore.
Well, once he gets through that first tier of the defense, Ralph Rogers shows us his speed. There is blazing speed all over this Laker team. And look at him run past all of the guys in the open field. Nice cut there at the 50, cuts back inside. Lake Orion finally catches up. Great return and run for the Lakers.
First down and 10 for West Bloomfield on the Lake Orion 43-yard line. Morgan in at quarterback for the L Boys. Kenneth Jones III in at fullback. Split out to the right as one receiver. It's Ralph Rogers. Snap to Morgan. Going to get some time. Going to launch it down the field. He has DeAndre Hill and just a little bit out of range. Looked like it was right in between DeAndre Hill and Alicia Durham, both chasing that ball down.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. Samaj Morgan is standing. Watch where he throws this. At his own 48, 49-yard line. Comes back. 48, 49, 47. Boom! Now, where's that ball end up? In the 1 or 2 yard line. Yeah. That was a 55-yard pass by Samaj Morgan. What can this guy not do?
And right in between those receivers, too. Anybody's game there if it was a little bit shorter. It wasn't, so it's second down for West Bloomfield at the Lake Orion 47-yard line. Going to be Brody Pecor in at quarterback now. Jaws in the backfield with him. Two split out to the right. Single man left is Trenton Allison. Snap and a fake handoff to Rogers. Pecor will take it up the middle. Going to get really back to the line of scrimmage and then tackled by a slew of Dragons. And it's going to be third down.
Forgive me, I'm not just going to dwell on Samaj Morgan all night long, but it's hard not to talk about him. Just thinking back on that play, that was a 55-yard pass. And did you see the way he set his feet? It was beautiful quarterback work. And if he was doing that all the time, he probably would have, especially with the receiver that he's throwing too frequently, would have been able to complete that pass. We got a Laker down on the field. And again, it looks like Brandon Davis Swain one more time, but I might be wrong.
It's one of the linemen for West Bloomfield.
Okay, you're right.
And it looks like one of the linemen is down, coming up the depth chart. Lakers 77, so he's going to come off the field. Lakers switching in some different linemen also, bringing some guys up this week from the JV squad. And so there, another injury for West Bloomfield, but quick recovery there. Probably just a stinger on a really physical play at the end there. A little bit of twisting and a scrum, and he'll come off the field. Third down for West Bloomfield, going to remain at about the 47-yard line, so third down and 10. 11:06 to play in the third quarter. Morgan going to be the quarterback in the shotgun. Twins to the left, going to be Trenton Allison, and it's also going to be Jalen Jackson. Twins also to the right, Jaden Allos. It looks like Samaj going to take the snap here in the shotgun. Going to take it. Has some time. Looking again to launch it. Throwing it down the field. Open man is Hill. And it is a touchdown for DeAndre Hill again. The bomb pass for Samaj Morgan. And they get in the end zone for 6.
So you're Jim Harbaugh. What are you going to do with this guy? You know, maybe you should use him as quarterback. Look at that arm. 55-yard perfect pass. Gets it right where it needs to be for a big 55-yard passing touchdown for the Lakers. You take this guy and put him in your backfield, and he is an amazing multi-dimensional threat.
Interesting thing here for the Lakers. They had Trenton Allison and the kicker out there. Now they're bringing in Montel Johnson and Rob Harris. Samaj coming back out there. Brandon Davis Swain. Jaws also out there. They're going to put Jaws in the Wildcat. They're going for 2. Lakers trying to make this a 35-0 lead. Snap to Jaws. Going to take it right at the gut. Going to get in. No problem. Nothing but 2 points for Kenneth Jones III and the Lakers. Now up 35-0. We'll take a break and come right back. right after this, but first we'll take a look at this replay. Kenneth Jones III just gets the floodgates opened. We'll keep it here. Just look at that. Great blocking by Amir Herring. Sets off one of the linemen. Just gives a little bit of extra space, and that's all Kenneth Jones needed to get in for 2 points there. 35-0. Now the lead for the Lakers.
That's one of the things that doesn't surprise me tonight. About the only thing that hasn't. That's out of the playbook. They've been running that all year long, and they've been running that direct snap, putting Jaws in at quarterback, and they're able to make it work. It's been great in the red zone. It's been great in short yardages. It's been great in the goal line. It's been their go-to short yardage option all season long, and it's been working great, and it works great again for West Bloomfield. 35-0. And tonight we're seeing some impressive plays by the stars of this West Bloomfield Laker team.
West Bloomfield 35 points on the board consecutively, 0. No answer yet from the Lake Orion Dragons. Ryan Krauthammer will kick it off in the left hash at the Laker 40. Back for Lake Orion, going to be Dorian Hill in the white and green 10. Kickoff going to be short again, and it lands just out of bounds. Flag's going to go down. Some good field position in favor of the Dragons.
You know, a little perspective, now that I think about it, you don't really want to be the team that comes in and plays West Bloomfield on homecoming after the Lakers were embarrassed the week before. You just, honestly, you don't really want to be that team, do you?
No, absolutely not. No, you're coming in against a motivated team, guys coming up the depth chart, trying to show what they've got in terms of their talent, their ability to play, and make themselves move up that depth chart. That next man up doesn't mean just for this game. It could be permanent. 10:28 and counting. 10:42, sorry, my apologies, and counting for the Lake Orion Dragons, starting this drive on their 35-yard line. First down and 10. T.R. Hill in the quarterback now. Roberson in the backfield. Snapping a handoff to Roberson. Going to try to take it up the middle. Escapes the linebacker. Still on his feet at the 45. First down and more to 50. Down to the 45. Puts his shoulder down and forces it to the Laker 40. First down and more.
Unfortunately, a holding call by Lake Orion. That'll be about the 50-yard line. They're going to bring that one back, and the line of scrimmage here after this penalty will probably be right around the 40-yard line. But a little bit of holding by the offense to create the extra yardage on that play. We'll see it in the replay. And watch right around the 50-yard line here, and you'll see the hold right about there. The hold right there as Rob Harris was held by Lake Orion.
That being the case, Lake Orion going to be back in their territory again at their 40-yard line. Going to be first down, however. Snap to T.R. Hill. He'll hand it off quickly. Get a nice gainer there. That handoff going to about the 45-yard line, just nearing that first down line. 9:20 and counting to go in the third quarter. Lakers up 35-0 on homecoming night against the visiting Lake Orion Dragons. They will move the chains. First down, Lake Orion. T.R. Hill remains in at quarterback in this two-quarterback system. Looks like he's going to line up under center. One man in the backfield's Roberson. Dorian Hill is in motion. He'll hand off to Roberson. He'll take it left side. Looks like a gap. Get 2, maybe 3 yards there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, Tyler, look at the score.
Of course.
You know what that means?
That means it is a running clock.
It is.
Mercy rule is in play. Any team up 35 or more means a running clock, except in the case of a timeout, an injury, or a change of quarter. Change of possession.
It
also
means I might not have to take a pumpkin home tonight, huh?
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I do know it's second down for the Lake Orion Dragons. Snap to T.R. Hill. He'll hand that ball off, and it's going to be up to the 50-yard line. A nice little gainer for Billy Roberson, the second.
It's a Cinderella reference.
Okay.
It means that my car is not going to turn it because I'm going to get home before midnight.
Ah, okay. Well, now that we're all caught up on that, third down for Lake Orion. Nice little gainer there. It's going to be third down and about 3 yards for the Dragons. Now in the Laker territory at the L Boys 48-yard line. T.R. Hill will remain in a quarterback under center. Roberson the second in the backfield. Twins to the right, twins to the left. In motion is Jones. Snap to Hill. He'll hand that ball off to Roberson. He's going to get stuffed. Gets maybe a yard. But a great tackle, a couple of Lakers getting right in on that rush.
Xavier Davis. I don't know if we got the replay or not, but we're not going to see it. But, I mean, that was just great work by the interior of the defensive line of the Lakers. It did not budge, led by Xavier Davis.
So now 4th down for Lake Orion, decision time. They are going to go for it. 4th and short. And the Lake Orion sideline switching things up. They're going to take T.R. Hill out, more of a game manager quarterback, that second quarterback in their 2-quarterback system coming back in, the senior, Connor McCartan. They're making some really nice clutch throws in key situations in the first half. 7:06 to play in the third. Snap to McCartan on 4th down. Going to roll out of the pocket and chase and get punished by Brandon Davis-Swain, and that is an INT. Johnson on his feet. Still going at the 45-yard line. That is not the first, not the second. That is the 3rd interception tonight for Lake Orion, and the Cowboys taking over.
Watch Brandon Davis-Swain here. He starts the rush, then he hesitates because he didn't want to run by, and then he pounds on the
He savors that moment. Savors a little punishment, and Montel Johnson making that interception, getting a play. Great execution again on the defensive side. Good awareness too of the ball to pick that up as it's just dangling in the air like a carrot.
Such a smart play by the defensive end for the Lakers. You know, it's really easy, and you see it a lot on Sundays with young defensive ends. They'll over-pursue the quarterback and run right by him. Did you see him put the brakes on a little bit? Make sure that he didn't lose the ability to get him.
Yeah, one last blocker kind of in space there. You think maybe he's going to shift off the guy he's blocking and take you out. So you hesitate there. He pushes his blocker up the field, and that's where he just gets that big smile on his face and shows Notre Dame what he's made of. That's where he's going in a couple of years.
He's going to do a great job
First down for the Lakers now in Lake Orion territory at their 44. Morgan in a quarterback. Ralph Rogers in motion. They hand it off to him. Get to the 45. Going to get it up past the line of scrimmage. Dives, gets probably 1.5, maybe 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down, about 9 for the Cowboys. Running clock in West Bloomfield, 5.5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Your Lakers dominating the visiting Lake Orion Dragons. 35 for the Cowboys and a goose egg on the other side for the visiting Dragons.
I'm having a lot of fun watching Samaj Morgan run this offense tonight.
Yeah, a platoon of quarterbacks for the Lakers as well. Lake Orion playing 2, West Bloomfield playing 3. Mostly Samaj and Brody Pecor, the primary backup, and then Kenneth Jones III also playing a lot of Wildcat tonight. That's what we'll do here. Possibly, no, they're going to have Pecor in at the shotgun and Kenneth Jones in backfield. Whistle blows, it's going to be a timeout. And West Bloomfield looking to talk this one over, make some decisions. Not like they got the ability to do that. The clock will stop because of the timeout with just over 5 minutes to play in the game. We'll stay right here and talk this over as the Lakers continuing to have a great game in all 3 phases, particularly on the defensive side of the ball with 3 interceptions tonight and setting this offense up well to really mix things up, try some new things, and look forward to next week in Oxford.
Well, you know, and I think that the Lakers needed a disciplined night.
Yeah.
And that's what they got. They got a disciplined night. And it's not easy to take your offense, have your starting quarterback out of the game, mix things up offensively, and have it work so well. So, you know, to me, I look at that and I say, you know, this team had a good week of practice this week. And that's exactly what they needed. You're going to have to build a game plan at this level every week. It might be a little different. They built one, and it's working.
First and the 2nd down for the Lakers, about 9 yards to go. Morgan in that quarterback, Jaws to his left. In motion is Ralph Rogers. They'll hand it off to Ralph. He'll run to his left. Jaws trying to make a block. He gets it. Pecor also making a block. Maybe incidental. Ralph taking it back the other way at the 40-yard line, down past the 45. First down and more, and takes it to the sideline at the 20-yard line, and a nice recovery and a big gainer on the run for Ralph Rogers.
So this is the jet sweep. You don't normally want to say, whoa, we're going that way. I'm going to go back and do my own reverse and bring the ball back the other way. You almost always can't get around the edge. But with his speed and the way he responded, he was able to make it and turn it into a big play.
23-yard line to Lake Orion is where this ball is going to be placed. First down and 10 for West Bloomfield. Pecor and Jaws going to be in the backfield. Pecor going to be the quarterback. Jaws line up just slightly behind him.
What do you call that, the jet sweep reverse?
I guess, yeah. That's technically what that was. He jet sweeped, jet swept and jet reversed.
That's it.
So first down and 10.
The jet reverse, that's what we'll call that.
Pecor in the shotgun. Jaws to his immediate right. Snapping a handoff to Jaws. No, Pecor going to take it himself. Great fake. Down about the 10-yard line, about the 12. He's pushed out of bounds. Great gainer for Brody Pecor. We'll see if they move the chains. They will. First down for West Bloomfield.
At any level of football, when you have a highly mobile quarterback, it just gives you a whole nother dimension. And all of these guys who are handling the ball tonight for the Lakers are highly mobile. They see an opportunity, boom, it's a 10 or 15-yard gainer every time.
An excellent read, too, by Pecor. Really threw off Chris Hargett. He attacked Kenneth Jones III, and Pecor looked like he wanted to hand that ball off, and he just pulled it, ran himself. First down for West Bloomfield, 4:45 in the third. Pecor hands it off to Josh Tate, takes up the middle, nothing going to stop him. Into the end zone, 6 more points for West Bloomfield. Another guy gets on the board. It is Joshua Tate, the sophomore running back. Look at this one here. Pecor snaps the ball, hands it off to Tate, gets a nice little juke to his right side, just enough to give him enough space. A great block up the A-gap on the weak side again, and 6 points for West Bloomfield here in the third. Now it is 41 West Bloomfield, and it is 0 for Lake Orion Dragons. Lakers going to take the PAT, and Justin Ward in for this one. 2:59 to go in the third quarter. Snapping the hold, ball is up, and doinks off the right upright, and it's no good. Missed PAT for Justin Ward, but still 41 points for West Bloomfield and 0 for the Lake Orion Dragons after the PAT attempt. 41-0 for West Bloomfield. We'll keep it here as the Lakers really just dominating Lake Orion and showing just how well they can bounce back after a tough week and really laying on the gas here. No stop, trying to get everybody those opportunities in these game situations against a really formidable team like Lake Orion that's had a tough season.
You know, I don't think that you look at this performance tonight, you say, well, Lake Orion just really had an awful game. I don't think you look at it that way. I think the Lakers came in and game planned really well, and they are showing the depth of this team here tonight. You're having a chance to see that one of the things this team can do that a lot of other teams can't do is mix things up. And maybe when we run into another situation down the road where we're having trouble, some of these guys might be able to come into a game, and if the guys aren't making it happen from the first team, you can bring some of these other guys in and they can perform as well and maybe bring you something on a bad night.
Whole lot of different skill sets. They've been executing well, and you know what? It gives your offense so much more opportunities going forward. Crowdhammer kicks that off a little bit short, about the 15-yard line, and a big hit on the kickoff. Man, oh man, just lays down the wood. It's Christian Hood, the sophomore, off of this kickoff. Let's take a look here at this replay. As back is Dorian Hill, the primary kick returner, but he's not going to get the ball. Instead, it is going to be Dominic Novak. And the sophomore just gets in there, lays down the shoulder pad, lays him out. First down and 10 now for Lake Orion at their 29-yard line.
You know, you're a little vulnerable when you're running the ball back in the open field, and, you know, that's when those really big hits happen. You got guys running down the field with a lot of momentum, and that's when you got to be careful, Tyler.
Laker faithful still loud and proud here at the Swamp. Lakers 41. Dragons 0, 2:40 to go in the third quarter. First down now for the Dragons. Under center is T.R. Hill. Snapping a handoff. He'll hand that ball off. It's going to be Raymond Payne. He's got nothing but space. Gets up the middle past the 50-yard line to the 40. Down to the 30. Still on his feet. Running for the end zone. And finally on the board. Lake Orion touchdown on a huge run for Raymond Payne.
That was a really nice reverse. And we'll see this. We don't see it really set up, but he breaks free, and this guy's fast. Then he's got one Laker to beat, cuts inside, makes a great solo effort, an unbelievable open field run, and a fantastic touchdown and a great play all the way around for Lake Orion.
Yeah, finally breaks the steal there on the scoreboard, gets 6 points on the board. A really nice run for Raymond Payne, who's been getting really involved in tonight's game. Not someone that we've typically seen been able to make a whole lot of plays this season, get a whole lot of targets, but using his opportunities tonight to really show what he's made of and why he's an important part of the future for this Lake Orion team as a junior. So now a PAT, snap and hold is good. It is up, and that is good. So 7 points now on the board after the PAT for Lake Orion. Score is 41 for West Bloomfield, 7 for Lake Orion here in West Bloomfield on homecoming night with just over a minute to play. We'll take a break here on Laker football. You're watching and listening on Civic Center TV and Lakes FM.
Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield.
Welcome back to Laker football on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. For more information, keep up to date, find all the places you can watch Laker football on civiccentertv.com/Lakersports. Let's listen in on the Swamp. Loud and proud, 41-7, and still on their feet, making noise here on homecoming night at West Bloomfield High School. Packed house, standing room only at the Swamp, even with the lead. Commanding for West Bloomfield. Running clock happening here at the Swamp as the Lakers remain up 41-7 over these Lake Orion Dragons visiting here in the OAA Red. Second to last game in the Red division this season for the Lakers. Next week, coming right back here. Final home game in OAA Red division play as they go up against the Oxford Wildcats. After the touchdown, Lake Orion going to kick the ball off. Will Hoffman, one of their 2 kickers, going to be on the kickoff staff here for West Bloomfield. Back to return. Looks like Deontay Pippin, the single guy back. Lakers going to keep a bunch of guys short on this kickoff. Hoffman keeps it short. He'll kick it to about the 30-yard line. Going to be recovered by Adrian Epps, and he'll just step right out of bounds at the 30. That's where the Lakers will start this drive. Looks like some laundry thrown on the sideline there. Right on the sideline. Could be from the Lakers sideline, a little extra action. We'll see what this call is after Epps recovers that short kick over his shoulder and just kind of steps right out of bounds.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 6, West Bloomfield, half the distance to goal, first down.
Personal foul called on Rob Harris in the West Bloomfield 6. That's going to bring them back.
Is that unusual, or is it not, that they would actually identify the player in high school?
I think here and there. It's not always that they will identify them. Sometimes they will. Not really sure the motivation, but it happens here and there.
Or maybe I just don't usually hear the official.
It does. It's seldom. It's kind of back and forth. Sometimes they'll call it. Sometimes
maybe
they won't.
on the personal foul they got to call that. So if there are multiple fouls,
that would make sense.
All right.
Regardless, with just about to be done here in the third quarter. West Bloomfield, 41 points. Lake Orion, 7. Brody Pecor in at quarterback for the Lakers. They'll start this drive at their 15. Twins left, single man right. Rogers in motion, snap to Pecor. He's going to take it right up the gut. Going to get stuffed in the backfield. A loss after a really nice play by Lake Orion. Break and contain, getting in the backfield, and a nice tackle coming up for Ryan McCartan. Second down now for West Bloomfield. Pecor off that run with just a little bit over a minute to play in the third quarter here at the Swamp. Pecor will remain in at quarterback. In the backfield with him is going to be Kenneth Jones III. And Twins out to the right for West Bloomfield. Snap and a handoff. Pecor going to give the ball up. Jaws takes it about the 15. It's going to be taken down. And a tackle made by Jacob McCoy. Third down now for West Bloomfield Lakers. This clock continues to run, about 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. Your Lakers 41, Lake Orion Dragons 7 on homecoming night. Lakers just letting the clock tick a little bit, setting up this play. Looks like Samaj Morgan going to come back in at quarterback. Jaws out to his left and Trips going to come back around, actually just giving some directions. He's going to be lined up to the right. Trips to the right, Twins to the left, Jaden Allos and Jalen Jackson. Snap to Morgan in the shotgun. Looks over to his right. Rolling out right, going to throw the ball, and it's caught at about the 20-yard line. Not going to be much of a gainer for Kenneth Jones III, and it'll be fourth down.
I like that, though. Watch Samaj Morgan here. He's able to get out of the pocket. He's under pressure. He thinks about running the ball, but off balance makes a nice pass, and that is a veteran quarterback play there, Tyler.
Yeah, contained broken, and he's just got to find somewhere to put that football, look up the field, see if you got your check down available, and if not, throw that ball away. He had the check down, and now that's going to end the third quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching and listening to Laker football on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
If your pet could tell you where you should shop for him or her, it'd be a place run by pet lovers. With hard-to-find food, toys, and gifts, with pet-friendly people and services, and great advice from people who really know pets, it'd be a place where his friends hang out, even that old guy, where there's a surprise around every corner. If your pets could tell you, they'd recommend Premier Pet Supply, but pets can't talk. Or can they? Premier Pet Supply, the place pets love.
Welcome back, Laker football, Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. The L-Boys will continue this drive. As they start the fourth quarter, it's going to be a punt. Punt is off, and it is past the 50-yard line. Going to land about, well, it's going to land at the 40 and roll past the 50-yard line down to about the opposite side, 39-yard line, and that is where Lake Orion will start their drive in their own territory.
Well, they got a really favorable West Bloomfield bounce. Yeah, it's an easy mistake to make in special teams. Lakers do a good job there. Just stay away from the ball, let it continue to work down the field, get as much time off the clock, and get as much, movement of the ball down the field. Try to pin back Lake Orion as much as you can. Look, it's going to be tough for Lake Orion to get back in this game. If you're Lake Orion, Tyler, what do you want to get done before the game is over tonight?
Sustain drives, move up the field, try to get your run game involved and see how you can compete against some of these tougher teams. 11:47 to play in the ball game. Snapping a handoff for Lake Orion. Going to take it up the middle. Get a nice little run, about 8-9 yards. Nice handoff. Nicholas Eaton, the running back, taking the ball.
Nice tackle there by Kristen Hood. Let's see if we get the replay here. If not, really good job by the Lakers. And again, we're seeing a bunch of new guys in here that we don't see all the time.
T.R. Hill back in at quarterback now for Lake Orion as they have second down and 1 from the 50. Snap to Hill. He's going to look for the handoff. He's going to pull it, taking himself up the middle. Gets a nice gainer down about the 40-yard line in West Bloomfield territory. Going to take it down to about the 37-yard line. First down for the Dragons.
Nice job on the open field run after they get through the initial line of the defense for the Lakers. Able to make a really nice run there, Tyler.
First down and 10 now for Lake Orion at the Lakers' 36-yard line. T.R. Hill going to remain in at quarterback. In the backfield with him is Nicholas Eaton. Twins right, twins left. Snap and a handoff to Eaton. No, it's bobbled. Going to be picked up by Dorian Hill, and they'll take the loss. Just going to stay down, and that ball going to be down at the 41-yard line for Lake Orion.
Now just a bad exchange here. And you're the quarterback, you got to be very careful about handling the ball in there. And actually, they were on the fake jet sweep, and I think the guy running the ball just ran into the quarterback.
Yeah, Darren Jones Jr. in motion. Ball snapped maybe a little bit early.
Yep.
Or Jones just a little bit ahead of that snap. It kind of hits his shoulder pad as it's going into the hands of T.R. Hill. That's how it's bobbled. So now second down for Lake Orion. Going to be second down.
Got a timeout
about
here.
5, and they're going to take a timeout, discuss this, see where they can go forward. The clock will stop with about 10:09 to go in the third quarter, and Lake Orion marching back up the field, taking what they can get. T.R. Hill now more of an athletic quarterback, getting that run game involved, that option back involved in this spread offense under Chris Bell. And Lake Orion making a nice little showing here. They've been able, when they've got their offense awake, they've been able to move up the field. They're really showing what they're made of and playing competitive football on the offensive side of the ball. Really tough to do when the Lakers defense is firing on every cylinder as they have tonight, with guys up and down the depth chart getting chances, Dave.
Yeah, and there have been some nice runs, but I think overall, another really nice thing the Lakers have done tonight, I think they've had some really precise tackling this evening on the defense. I mean, they've been doing it all year, no surprise, but they've been making their tackles for the most part tonight too.
Lake Orion likes to force these defenses in the man-to-man coverage, force them into bad zones and make some plays. Lakers not allowing that. T.R. Hill takes the snap for Lake Orion, rolls out of the pocket, evades a tackler. Stephen Fountain gets to about the line of scrimmage and runs out of bounds. That's where that play will stop. About a gain of one, really past the line of scrimmage, as now it's going to be a third down for Lake Orion.
Well, T.R. Hill doing a really good job, and you don't fake out Mr. Kari Jackson, forgive me, very often. And he really did. He just maneuvered right around him and got a bunch of extra yards.
9:49 to play in the ball game, and it is 3rd down and 9 for the Lake Orion Dragons. Snap to T.R. Hill. He'll hand that ball off. Going to go up the middle again. It's going to be Nicholas Eaton. He'll get close to the line to gain, but short. Going to be about a 4th down and 3 yards for Lake Orion with time ticking in the 4th quarter. Dragons down 7-41.
Another nice tackle by Hood on that play for the Laker defense. Doing a good job tonight.
Under center, T.R. Hill at the Lakers' 29.5-yard line. First down, trying to get a first down here, are Lake Orion. Snap to T.R. Hill. He'll hand that off to Payne in the backfield, being chased by Gabriel, and finally leads them into tacklers. A couple of Lakers there, Khalil Durant alongside Stephen Fountain.
Well, if you're not going to get the tackle done, do what Gabriel does here. Watch, Jonathan Gabriel pushes him way out, slows him down, and then sets it up so other Lakers can come clean it up, like Durant, who comes up with the tackle.
Stops his forward progress, his momentum, and forces him into those tacklers. Turnover on downs. The Lakers going to come back out on the offensive side of the football now. Up 41-7 on homecoming night. Your Lakers looking to make this a 5-1 record overall in the season and 3-1 in OAA Red Division play. Lake Orion would fall to even 500, 3-3, and also 500 in the red at a 2-2 divisional record. 9:22 to play in the ball game exactly. Lakers will start this drive on their own 32-yard line. First down and 10. Bunch formation, Kenneth Jones III counting his players in the Wildcat. Brody Pecor running in, getting himself lined up wide to the left, actually inside to the left. They're going to reshift their offense. Also in for the Lakers is Jackson Azu. Whistle blows. Lakers going to take a timeout and talk this one over as they have some trouble getting lined.
For the most part, they've done a really good job tonight. They've been running all these new formations with a very unique set of players and unique configurations we've not been seeing much this season. They've been able to move the guys in and out of the plays pretty effectively. At a timeout, they weren't really set there and a little confused. But I've really been pretty impressed. They must have worked really hard in practice this week. This is not something that they just threw in at the last second into this game with all of these different sets and different quarterbacks and different configurations.
Yeah, they've been working hard all week. Long practices, long meetings, talking this over, getting things right after a lot went wrong last week. Hey, we can keep focusing on all that went wrong a week ago, or we can focus on how we can make this right. And that's exactly what the Little Boys have been thinking of. Whistle blows, going to be first down for West Bloomfield now. And Jaws in that quarterback. Snap to Jaws. Clock starts ticking. He's going to take up the middle. Gets about 3, 4, 5 yards. Still in a scrum. Pushing forward. Gets about the 40. Big gain on first down. About 7 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the L Boys.
Well, that's what he gets paid to do. I know he doesn't really get paid, but that's his job. His job is to run the ball up the gut like that and keep moving the stack. And that wasn't one of those, again, as we were talking about earlier, where the whole offensive line was pushing him. That was Jaws pulling everybody else.
And here he goes, counting the players again. 9:07 to play in the ball game. He needs one more guy. Call him to the sideline. They are going to send in one. It needs one more offensive lineman. That's always helpful. Calls in Alex Walton back out there. They're going to line up in the Wildcat again. Kenneth Jones, the third, the quarterback. They need to get to the 42-yard line for first down.
They must have drawn this one up on a chalkboard.
Jaws takes the snap, going to go out the middle, shifts to his right, back inside, going to get very close, probably just millimeters shy of the first down line. We'll see if they give him the first down. Doesn't look like they will. Going to be third down now for West Bloomfield and inches. Yeah, Jaws shifts back in, but nice diving tackle. Really nice play, giving up his body there. Joey Hogan wrapping up the ankles. 8:19 to play in the ball game. Third and very short for Jaws in the Wildcat. Lakers lined up at their 41, looking to get to the 42-yard line. Jaws taking his time, letting some time click off the clock. Snap the Jaws, going to take it up the middle, going to get that first down and more. Still on his feet at the 50, gaining at the 45, takes a dive after getting tripped up. First down and more, another great run for Jaws.
You know, the deeper we get into this game, it's looking like Lake Orion's defense is getting tired because they are just getting manhandled by the Laker offensive line. Great hole, and then Jaws just takes and makes the most out of every run. And another big Laker first down on the ground as the Lakers are grinding it out, Tyler.
Into positive territory at the Lake Orion 45. First and 10 for West Bloomfield. Again, this bunch formation. Two men in the backfield, blockers for Jaws. LeVar Carter in the game, along with Ralph Rogers. Snap the Jaws, gonna take up the gut, shift to his right side, back inside, gonna get to the 40-yard line, gonna get about 5 yards, still on his feet, still pushing, gets it, turns that 5 into 6. Another great physical play for Jaws, putting his full effort into this ball game tonight.
Tackled by a host of Dragons.
You know, it's just so much fun to watch this because this is a quarterback that we're seeing emerge here, not just a guy who's going to run an occasional down when they are on the goal line, you know, and they got to get one or two. He's running play after play after play and doing a great job.
2nd and 4 for the Lakers at the Dragons 39. Picor now in at quarterback. Same formation for the Lakers. Bunch in the back, Carter and Rogers. Snap to Picor. He takes up the middle, gets some yards, past the first down line, down the 30, and taken down finally about the 27-yard line. Another great play by this offensive line. Let's take a look at this on the replay.
Nice job. Just watch the Laker offensive line and the big blocks there. And a good job by Hughes and also, I didn't catch the other player in there.
Hughes and Craig Tillman making really nice blocks there. Strong side B gap. Picor again in at quarterback. Same bunch formation. Carter in the backfield. Rogers in the backfield. Single man out to the right for the Lakers. Snap to Picor. Another time trying to get the middle. Has to shift out to the right. Contain is broken, and he's going to be tripped up in the backfield by Kyle Purdy and finally taken down. And Lake Orion answering this play finally after 3, 4, 5, 6
I was going to
times.
say 7 times they were on that play, and finally Lake Orion came up with the answer. You just, you know, quarterback keeper running up the gut, you're only going to pull that off so many times. And Lake Orion has an answer on that one, loss of 2 or 3.
Third down for the Lakers at the 32-yard line. Got to get to about the 29. 3rd and 3 for the L-Boys. Picor still going to be at quarterback. LeVar Carter in the backfield is running back. Jaws split out a little bit to the right. Snapping a handoff. Going to take it up around the right edge. Ball carrier for West Bloomfield is Marquise Morris. Nice little gainer. They're going to place that ball down about the 30.5-yard line, 29.5-yard line. Now they're going to move that back to the 30. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for West Bloomfield.
Marquise Morris, wide receiver for the Lakers. We've not seen him run it out of the backfield that I could recall this year, Tyler. But a nice run there. Another weapon for West Bloomfield.
At the Dragon 30, 3rd down and 1 for West Bloomfield. Up 41-7 with 4.5 to play in the ball game. Picor, the quarterback, in the shotgun. Lakers running back, LeVar Carter, the junior, and at running back. Snapping a handoff. Marquise Morris going to take it around the edge. Jet sweep about the 30-yard line. He's going to be taken down. Tripped up, had a little bit of space, and finally, good pursuit, good tackle. Michael Jockwig, the senior defensive back, trips him up, and that's going to force 4th down with a little bit of further space back for the Lakers from the line to gain.
Well, now we're finally getting to the point of the game where we're seeing some of the reserves come in, and these are the backups. We finally made it down to the guys who are truly the backups and giving them a chance to get some really good quality playing time here, Tyler.
Got a nice look there on the right side. Tight end now in for the Lakers. It's Lyle Massey, typically a running back in the Laker 40. So at the 31, got to get to the 28 for 1st down. Pecor, the quarterback, fakes the handoff, going to take it up the middle. He'll get the 1st down, still on his feet, down about the 25. 1st down for the L-Boys now. That was actually, they gave him the 1st down, so that is, no, they're going to turn that one on over. Then they said he got close, not close enough. Turnover on downs, and now Lake Orion going to take over with 3:15 to go in the ball game. Lakers 41, Lake Orion Dragons 7. Dragons not getting on the board in the first half. First time they get on the board is with $1:40 to go in the 3rd quarter off a great play by Raymond Payne, trying to continue to get themselves on board, make nice offensive drives, and being able to kind of inch up the field here in the late third and the 4th quarter. Not really getting any of those big bunch plays other than that touchdown by Payne.
So for those people that are here at the game tonight, listening on the radio, on your little transistor radio, does anyone do that anymore? On the phone maybe? Make sure you stick around. Post-game show, we'll have it all for you on the drive home tonight.
T.R. Hill under center at the Laker 25. Man in motion is Payne. Snap to Hill. He's going to hand that ball off in the backfield. Immediately swallowed up by Stephen Fountain. The ball carrier is Dominic Kangemi.
Well, nice job there by the Laker interior. Doing a good job. Jonathan Gabriel also in on that tackle time.
Going to be 2nd down for the Lake Orion Dragons at the Laker 28-yard line. Got to get down to the 36 for a 1st down. 2nd down and 8 for the Lake Orion Dragons. Quarterback remains T.R. Hill. One man in the backfield. It's Kangemi. Payne in motion will hand it off to him. Jet sweep, going to take it around the right edge. Gets the 30 past the 1st down line. Ran out of bounds. They're going to mark it at the 1st down line. 1st down line to gain, and they will move the chains. 1st down for Lake Orion now. 41 points for the Lakers, 7 points for the Lake Orion Dragons. They're going to move the chains. Dragons starting to inch up the field, getting the running game involved here late in the ball game at West Bloomfield High School. 2:53 to go. Lakers commanding lead on homecoming night. T.R. Hill in the shotgun now on 1st down for the Dragons. Gonna fake the handoff. Now he hands it off as the linebackers pinch in. That ball handed off to Nicholas Eaton. Doesn't get a whole lot. Gets down about the 39-yard line.
I don't know if we're going to see the replay, but I really like the tackle right there by Durant. He went in. Just watch as they're sweeping, and they tie the player up, and then Durant comes in. Boom! Nice tackle. Stops him right there with a good putting his shoulder in and making the tackle.
Yeah, good support to finish that play off of the start by R.J. Hayes II. 2nd down for Lake Orion. T.R. Hill, the quarterback. Snap, hit as he throws, going to launch it, and it is caught by Darren Jones Jr. Wide open space, another 6 points for Lake Orion. Touchdown. Again, that is Darren Jones Jr., the sophomore running back. Now its score is 13 for Lake Orion and 41 for the Lakers with just over 2 minutes to go in the ball game.
Well, the people in Lake Orion, they paid their $5 to get into the game too. And I'm glad they're having a good time here tonight in West Bloomfield. Little entertainment at the end of the contest for them. And I don't mean this to be demeaning, Tyler. But, this game, there's no question about what's going to happen here. And it's been nice to actually see some of the Lake Orion players shine and have an opportunity to, get some big plays.
Yeah, they've been playing some good football, just haven't been able to get past this Laker defense that's been executing at as close to 100% as they possibly can, if 100%. So Will Hoffman, the kicker, going to come in, the sophomore for the PAT. Trying to make this a 41-14 ball game. Lake Orion on the season so far, averaging 27 points per game. Tonight, just 14 after the PAT is good for Hoffman. Score now 41-14 in favor of the Lakers. We'll keep it right here as this game definitely in the refrigerator, as the legendary Chick Hearn used to say for Laker basketball games in LA. And West Bloomfield getting some more of those guys down the depth chart involved, and Lake Orion getting a chance to see what they can do as things kind of lighten up and they continue to run their plays and play their playbook.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a great season so far with all these wonderful home games. We've not had bad weather for a single game. A little cool tonight, but really a delightful night for high school football. Next Friday night's going to be a lot of fun, as well as we are delighted to welcome into our swamp our good friends from Oxford. They will be here. It'd be nice to have a great supportive crowd from our community coming out to pay our respects to Oxford and all that they have been through as they come to visit us here in West Bloomfield. It'll be a great night for football. We'll have a great game and a great evening. Next Friday night, make sure you make it here to West Bloomfield High School. Can't be here in person. There's about 1 billion different ways you can watch and listen to it. We'll have it for you on TV and radio.
Will Hoffman going to kick this ball off with 2:36 to play in the ball game. From the middle hash at 40, it's going to be a squib kick. Kicking out to the right, going to bounce toward the sideline. The Lakers trying to recover it. They muff it, and then it's going to end up down to the 15-yard line. Got to think when it gets to the sideline there that Deontay Pippin is going to get a conversation with head coach Grice about you got to let that ball bounce.
Well, on the other hand, you got to be careful about letting it bounce. That's a kickoff, not a punt.
Sure.
And, and they may have been trying an onside kick there, and that's anyone's ball. That's an open ball. Lake Orion gets the ball. And so I don't know if I let that one bounce down the field. And then you kind of let it bounce down the field and maybe hope it'll go out of bounds. We've seen plays like that, though, where the kicking team comes up, scoops up the ball, and then they got it.
Plenty of Lakers in the area, bouncing toward the sideline. Plenty of
I'm not picking
there.
on you,
Tyler. No, I'm not picking on you either. I'm just,
I know.
You made your case. I'm making mine. 2:36 to go. Jaws, and then the Wildcat going to take the snap. Going to run at the middle, run into a rush of linemen, but he's still pushing forward. Going to get to the 20-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 3 yards, 4 yards. Yeah, it's going to be 4. Second down and 6 for the Lakers at their 20. Clock continues to tick. 2:22 to play. Lakers 41, Lake Orion 14. Here in West Bloomfield. West Bloomfield going to improve to 5-1 on the season, 3-1 in OAA Red Division play. Lake Orion 500 in both, 3-3 overall, 2-2 in the red. Second down and 6 for the Lakers at that gain on first down. Pecor now in at quarterback. In the backfield with him is Joshua Tate and LeVar Carter. Snap actually goes directly to LeVar Carter. Going to be patient. That's actually Joshua Tate going to get up about 2 yards now, and it's going to be third down and 4 for the L-Boys. Buck 40 to play in this game. 41 points for West Bloomfield. 14 for the visiting Dragons. A great homecoming night here in West Bloomfield. CivicCenterTV.com/Lakers Sports to watch this game back on demand. I want to thank our sponsors, of course, for this broadcast and making this possible. The Orchard Mall, Premier Pet Supply, also in the Orchard Mall alongside the Michigan Week Committee. And Ken and Deb Macon also. Clock continues to tick. Under a minute to play. Third down and 4 for West Bloomfield. Jaws in the quarterback. Snap goes directly to him. No, it's not Jaws. It's Joshua Tate. Breaks a tackle, and everyone kind of convenes around him, takes him down. Not much of a gain at all. Going to be fourth down now for West Bloomfield.
I think that's going to be about it.
Yeah, clock going to continue to tick. 17 seconds left. Both teams content to call this one a ball game. Final score tonight from West Bloomfield High School. 41 for the L-Boys and 14 for Lake Orion. We'll take a break. We'll come back for the Laker postgame show. You're watching and listening to Laker football on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
If your pet could tell you where you should shop for him or her, it'd be a place run by pet lovers. With hard-to-find food, toys, and gifts, with pet-friendly people and services, and great advice from people who really know pets, it'd be a place where his friends hang out, even that old guy, where there's a surprise around every corner. If your pets could tell you, they'd recommend Premier Pet Supply, but pets can't talk. Or can they? Premier Pet Supply. the place pets love.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
If your pet could tell you where you should shop for him or her, it'd be a place run by pet lovers. With hard-to-find food, toys, and gifts, with pet-friendly people and services, and great advice from people who really know pets, it'd be a place where his friends hang out, even that old guy, where there's a surprise around every corner. If your pets could tell you, they'd recommend Premier Pet Supply, but pets can't talk. Or can they? Premier Pet Supply, the place pets love.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Welcome back to Laker football right here at 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com. We are on Civic Center TV tonight. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We're all over the internet. We thank you very much for tuning in, and what a great game tonight. Lakers win 41-14. It's homecoming. Tyler's in the field. We're going to get to him in a minute, and he'll talk to some of the players and coaches. You see them down there, but I just got to say hello to this guy real quick. He did these games a year after I graduated. It's homecoming. Greg Schroeder, how are you?
Doing very well, David, and great to see you. And what a great victory for homecoming.
Oh, that was
Absolutely.
awesome. Were you here for the game tonight then?
Yes, I was.
So how many people really come back to homecoming from our era? You know, I mean, they celebrated the 50th anniversary.
Last
you
week.
and I were here,
Yes.
right, a little bit after that.
Yes.
But you graduated 78. I graduated 77. But it's just great. The history carries on here at West Bloomfield High School.
Oh, it's fantastic. To know that WBLD still has a booming signal out there, and again, like you said, available on YouTube and other venue, it's fantastic. Because, David, that's how I've been listening to it until I started coming to games this year.
Well, I appreciate you tuning in, and you're part of our legacy here.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate it. You and the rest of your family and your brother Glenn, who was a good friend of mine in high school.
Absolutely.
And a legendary broadcaster in Oklahoma, has had a great broadcasting career. So we've all had a chance to kind of hang out and do this stuff. But I really appreciate you coming by.
Absolutely.
And you doing well?
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
your brother and your family doing well?
Yep. Glenn himself is going to retire in about 3 years, but can you believe he's still working at 64?
That's amazing.
Indeed. Well, David.
Yeah, well, I'm still working too. So here I am on Friday night doing high school football games. Happy homecoming. Good to see you.
Likewise, David.
All right. Thank you very much for stopping by. Tyler Keith down on the field, we can see, and we are going to let the coaches do their thing and let the players do their thing. And after they do, we'll get a chance to talk to them. Last week, after the game, it wasn't a pretty place to be on the field after the Lakers were really stunned by Rochester Adams. Tonight, everything went well. The coaching staff adjusted. The team adjusted. There were some guys that were out. I think they played with great discipline, and everything worked, and you could see it on the scoreboard, 41-14. The game tonight, very different than we expected, in that we saw very, very unique and totally different offensive schemes than we have seen all season long, as they kept bringing in different offensive sets with different quarterbacks. I mean, we saw Samaj Morgan, the leading receiver for the Lakers. We saw him in there all night long throwing the ball. And what a great job he did as quarterback tonight. I mean, he had great pocket presence. He was able to throw the ball. That touchdown pass, 55 yards. I mean, absolutely amazing. And this guy is our receiver, not our lead quarterback. And then we see Jaws doing a good job. Kenny Jones III doing a great job tonight as well. Tyler is down with all the stuff that we see. Let's throw it down to him. And Tyler, I'm just talking about what a successful night it was for the Lakers and all of the different offensive sets that we saw.
Yeah, definitely some flowers being given to this offense right now in the scrum. They're also talking about just the grace that this team showed, the energy that this team showed to come into the game with some different guys than they've typically had out there here at the Swamp, and really making plays tonight, but also showing a lot of appreciation, lots of smiles, lots of hugs, talking about the adversity in their personal lives that these guys have even been through, the coaching staff in previous years and even this year, some of the players as well, and really using that to be motivated and to capitalize on these opportunities that they have out here tonight, Dave.
Well, Tyler, clearly and noticeably a more pleasant environment than we saw last week. But it looks like it's a more supportive scene down there. It was kind of uncomfortable last week, and I think they're back in their groove.
Yeah, certainly back in the groove. Everybody very attentive, not really looking all mopey, but looking focused. You know, it's the excitement of a big win. You win 41-14 against a formidable foe like Lake Orion. You know, you're going to think that there's going to be a lot of excitement. We just ran this team right off the field, but it looks like laser focus from all these guys, including the coaching staff. And they're going around giving each other pats on the back, but saying, hey, look, we got to stay humble too. We got to have this focus every single week. It can't just be homecoming night against Lake Orion. It's got to be next week against Oxford. It's got to be 2 weeks from now against Southfield A&T, and throughout the remainder of the season.
Well, there's no question that this is a team that has an amazing amount of talent. And they've known that. I mean, let's be honest. They know they were talented. But talent will only get you so far. Discipline will get you a championship. Work ethics will get you a championship. Teamwork will get you a championship. Those are some things that kind of got away from them last week, let's be honest. And they had to discover that, and I think they have.
Yeah, they certainly have. They came back this week ready to play football, ready to play great team football and come together and make plays. That's simply what they had to do. They had to come together to make plays, to go up against a competitive team like it really everybody is here in the OAA Red Division. They executed their game plan well. They stuck together. They didn't get down on themselves when things didn't go well. And that's why you're hearing their cheers in the background as they talk about all the great things they were able to accomplish tonight here at the Swamp.
All right, well, an exciting night in the field. I know you're going to have an opportunity to talk to some of the players and hopefully the coaches in a couple of minutes. I'm going to let you stick your head back in there. We'll take a break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Tyler Keith on the field. Dave Scott in the press box. We thank you for tuning in in tonight, wherever you happen to be. If you're on your way home from this contest, stick around. We got a whole lot more big post-game show coming up tonight. Lakers win 41-14 after a tough week last week and getting ready for Oxford's visit next Friday night here in the Swamp. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to and watching Laker football.
Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
If your pet could tell you where you should shop for him or her, it'd be a place run by pet lovers. With hard-to-find food, toys, and gifts, with pet-friendly people and services, and great advice from people who really know pets, it'd be a place where his friends hang out, even that old guy, where there's a surprise around every corner. If your pets could tell you, they'd recommend Premier Pet Supply. But pets can't talk. Or can they? Premier Pet Supply, the place pets love.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Welcome back to Laker football right here at 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com. Post-game show, Laker post-game show, a lot happier post-game show tonight than we had last Friday night. Lakers 41, Lake Orion 14. Lakers get back in the win column. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure next Friday night you are here. We'll be back at West Bloomfield High School as Oxford comes here for our contest. If you're in the parking lot or driving up and down Orchard Lake Road, be careful on the roads. A lot of traffic here at West Bloomfield High School. And we're going to be checking in as soon as Tyler lets me know he's ready. We'll be checking in with our head coach, Grice, here just a couple of minutes to try to get some feeling of where the Lakers are tonight, what the difference was, talk a little bit about how they took a totally different approach offensively, keeping the ball on the ground tonight, mixing it up with a wide variety of new and unique offenses. We had 3 or 4 different quarterbacks that were routinely shifting in and out of the game with their own unique offensive sets, and they did a really nice job being able to maneuver through all of these unique offenses without really, they had to call, I think, one timeout tonight. But other than that, it went pretty smooth. I mean, we did see a couple of quarterbacks counting heads a couple of times to make sure that they had their package on the field when they needed it. But it really worked out pretty good. And clearly, the Lakers, the parents, the fans that are standing down on the 5 and 10 yard line are very, very happy. And in just about 10, 15, 20 seconds, Tyler's going to pull Coach Grice away from all of this, and hopefully we can check in and hear from him and then some of the Lakers. But, you know, obviously after a really tough week last week, they really want to take an opportunity to celebrate. Things are breaking out right now. And, Tyler, I don't know if you can hear me or not, Tyler. Are you down there? Okay, well, we lost his audio. We'll get it back in just a second. We'll be checking with Coach Grice in a moment. And I'm sure he is a happy man, very proud tonight of his Lakers and the way they executed his game plan and his coaching staff. So, Tyler, are you there with the coach?
Down here with head coach Tyrese Grice. Coach, coming back tonight, seeing a lot of different guys from down the depth chart getting action with some injuries and some inactives today. What do you have to say about the performance of the guys that came up the depth chart and had a really nice performance here tonight against a formidable foe in Lake Orion?
Well, you know, we had a few guys down throughout the week, and the second group of guys that throughout the week they've been practicing with the first unit, and they stepped up and did a good job this week. JG, he's a starter. He had his biggest game of the season. We had some other guys. Pippen had to play corner, and he stepped up on his game. So yeah, we were able to execute some of the things we was able to execute that we didn't do in the past. So we're excited about that.
You mentioned previously in some of the conversations we've had this season about Samaj's past playing quarterback. Came into play tonight, and he made some really nice plays as the gunslinger.
Well, Samaj's special. He can play all over the field. What people don't know, he was a quarterback coming up in youth league, so we knew he can do the job. It's just a matter of him. How can we utilize him throughout the game? So some sets we was able to use Samaj, and he was able to get the ball out to Dre Hill a few times for 2 touchdowns. So that's been successful. So our strategy was we wanted to run the ball, establish the ball, not having our quarterback out, starting quarterback back with Rick Nance. We decided we were just going to go ahead and use the running game and get ready for the rest of the season, pounding the ball.
2 weeks ago in the scrum here after the game, you told your guys they need to keep that energy going late in the game. When you have that momentum, when you have that lead, and you're here against Clarkston. Tonight they definitely did that against Lake Orion. Speak to their improvements in that regard and how much of a benefit that's going to be to this team going forward.
Well, you know, we always said we haven't played our best game yet, and we saw some signs today. Defensively, we was able to do some things, control the line of scrimmage on the offensive side of the ball, but defensively we was out there hitting hard and flying to the ball, and that's the type of defense we like to play at West Bloomfield. Is aggressive, flying to the ball, and today I saw some positive signs that we can move forward with that approach.
We really saw the discipline also tonight take massive improvements, kind of go back to earlier on in the season what we were seeing, limiting penalties, not making those frustration moves. Speak to the way that this team practiced this week and how that led into them being able to execute this game plan so well and really limit these penalties.
Well, we had a big team meeting on Monday, and that's one of the things we talked about is keeping your cool, discipline, and eliminate the mistakes and get your head out the game and stay focused. So all week they took to that message, and we had a great practice this week, and I'm excited about that. So it showed in the game.
A big win tonight in OAA Red Division play. Lakers taking care of business against Lake Orion. Coach, thanks so much.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it, Tyler.
Appreciate it. Players celebrating here too.
Yeah.
Not so fast there, my friend.
Hey, Tyler.
I a few broadcasting classes first, but hey, love that energy too from the Laker faithful.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I kind of like the way that the coach, clearly in a really good mood, tried to slap you 5 there. All in all, a much happier environment down there than we had last week. I'm going to let you turn around and see if you can find somebody else before all the players get away. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back. Thank you for joining us. It is the Laker post-game show. Lakers win 41-14. We'll be back in just a minute with a Laker or two. This is Laker football on 89.3 Lakes FM and lakesfm.com.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road.
Welcome back, Laker football on 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Civic Center TV, we're on TV, we're on radio, we're on the internet, and we're on the field with Tyler Keefe and Rob Harris.
For your team, bouncing back after a tough week last week. What was the difference in coming into tonight's game, really being able to execute and play a really cohesive game in all 3 phases?
I think the issue last week was that we were more into our heads instead of being into the game. So this week we really just came together and we thought it out. We left last week behind and we just focused and we came together, focused on what we had to do. And, you know, we had lost some players, so, you know, we just locked in, and we had great practices every day of the week. And we implemented that into the game today. We won all 3 phases. We played a great game. We almost had a shutout, so I'm really proud of my guys today.
Yeah, great physical play on the defensive side of the ball, and we really saw the guys that came up the depth chart too make the most of those opportunities in the next man up situation and play hard and play for the win all throughout the game. Speak to their gameplay tonight, how important that is, A, for the future of this team, but also this season to have those opportunities to get some of the guys that are playing all game long a little bit of rest and get these guys opportunities in critical game situations.
Well, I think they feel good about themselves. They got to see some action today, and I think it's good for them because, you know, we're a family. It doesn't matter who's in, you know, we're going to support them, and they stepped up. They showed that they're able to play. So we have a great future at West Bloomfield after the 23s and 24s league, that we have people that can play. And Brody Pecor and Joshua Tate, you know, they stepped up their game today. I'm really proud of those young guys.
Yeah, an excellent play also in the secondary. Guys stepping up with a couple of injuries and omissions this week at the cornerback in particular. We're joined by Rob Harris, West Bloomfield linebacker, here on the field that the Lakers take care of business. 41-14, the final score tonight in OAA Red play at home against the Lake Orion Dragons. Rob, we saw last week at the end of the game after the disappointing loss with some of the issues we've already talked about pretty extensively over the last week or so. The mood of the leadership of this team, really focused, really kind of like almost disappointment, but also a sense of hope and renewal going forward. This week, completely different feel in the scrum. Coming out of this game, with the performance you guys had, the way that your team played together, just what is the mood of this locker room coming out of this game against Lake Orion?
Well, I think we just really bonded together. We're more closer with each other. We're more of an understanding with each other. And, you know, that's what it is when you have a football team. That's the way the football team wins. We were 20. We came to halftime. We started the second half 28-0. So, you know, we haven't done that all year. So, you know, that's really good that we've been able to do that. And that really shows, like, the more you build relationships with your team, the more chemistry you get, and the better you play. So I'm really proud of my guys. You know, we're going to do it again. I have faith in them. I have faith in myself. So we're just going to play.
Adversity can be very beneficial in some situations if you make the most out of it. Rob, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Appreciate it. Congratulations tonight. 41-14 final score. Great defensive play from Rob and the guys on that side of the ball, but also offensive firepower for the Lakers, Dave.
All right, great job, Tyler. Thank you very much. And I agree, from adversity comes greater strength, and a good job by the entire Laker football team, coaching staff team, and everybody on the field. Great job by you as well. Why don't you head back up? Thank you very much for your reporting on the field. We're going to take a break. Tyler and I will be back to put a ribbon on this one. Lakers win tonight 41-14 here on homecoming night. Don't forget, next week it's Oxford right back here in the Swamp. We'll be back in a moment. You are listening to and watching Laker football.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to MichiganWeek.org for details. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
Welcome back to Laker Post Game Show right here on 89.3 Lakes FM, lakesfm.com, Civic Center TV, YouTube, Facebook, My Michigan TV, and a whole lot more. Thank you for all your comments across all of the social media platforms tonight. Cheering on your West Bloomfield Lakers to a big victory, 41-14. Next week we continue on here at the Swamp, as it is going to be Oxford coming to town. And then beyond that, it gets more interesting, Tyler, as Southfield A&T is looming after that. And that is going to be a really tough contest. The Lakers tonight, though, needed to take care of a little bit of business here. They needed to right the ship, let's be honest, and they did. There was just some major breakdowns. I don't think we'll ever entirely know. Most of that stuff stays within the team, but sure, some of it leaked out. And there was just some major breakdowns on and off the field. And I think essentially, the team didn't practice well last week. They didn't prepare themselves last week. And maybe they were thinking they were all that in a bag of chips, as some of our people like to say right now, okay? Ken Cooper, our production director, says that all the time, right? So, and maybe they needed to be brought back down to earth a little bit. Whatever it was, Lakers came back. The people that were on the field tonight executed extremely well. And then we saw a new wrinkle to the Lakers. As Coach Grice said, he wanted to run the ball. But the way he ran the ball, just running the ball would have been one thing. And he could have done it in a much simpler way without Rick Nance out there. He could have, just given the ball to one of these guys and let them run the offense. But let's see if we can miss. I don't want to miss anybody. Samaj ran the offense tonight. Jaws ran the offense tonight. Who else?
Brody Picour.
Picour ran the offense tonight.
Yeah, I also saw a little bit of Josh Tate later on taking over that Jaws role also.
Yeah, so these guys, and each of them had their own, set of co-conspirators, right? So they had all these offenses they had to get on and off the field, and they were just mixing them up. It didn't really work out necessarily that you were going to have one configuration, run an entire drive. They were mixing it up. So, they had to have practiced all that. The coaches had to get those players on and off the field. The players needed to know what happened. And then bottom line, each of those guys executed very, very well, like a seasoned quarterback. You see, you take somebody and throw them in at the quarterback, and usually you get a pass rush, and it freaks them out, and they go down. Yeah. I mean, you see it happen all the time. Bring in the backup quarterback,
sure,
and then let's just bring the entire defense and blitz the guy, and the whole thing falls apart. Well, that didn't happen tonight because you've got these guys that are so mobile. Samaj Morgan, he's playing like a guy who has practiced for 10 years in how to deal with a pocket that's falling apart. And he's so maneuverable. He can maneuver out of the pocket. He can look downfield. All those things that a quarterback does when they're in trouble that most guys in high school can't do. He's sitting there. He sees the pocket collapse. He fades out. He gets outside of the pocket. He buys himself some time. Meanwhile, he's looking downfield trying to find an open receiver. And, oh, by the way, then he perfectly takes a stance and throws a 55-yard touchdown pass. Yeah. There are very few quarterbacks that play that position every week in high school football that can do that. And, and then there was that, and then there were other guys that were running the ball, but they were all executing this offense. I think in an amazing way, we learned that this team has a whole nother set of weapons that they can use when they need them.
Yeah, and you mentioned the execution of these different set plays and really similar set plays, but with different people leading the personnel. And what I look to is the limited amount of timeouts that this team had to take in those situations. Right. The limited amount of back and forth between the quarterback in play and the sideline. And Ken Rise, the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, Zach Hilbers, head coach Tyrese Grice. Very little discussion on this between the sidelines and these quarterbacks. Very little mixed up. Really, the only delays we were seeing as whoever was playing the quarterback was setting up the play was Kenneth Jones III counting guys, making sure he had 11 guys on the field and could fully execute that play. Being able to come out and run that offense in that way with quick changes, with different setups, with different guys leading that offense is a sign of what happens when you practice well, when you focus, when you're working and communicating with your guys, when things go right and when things go wrong, because it wasn't perfect in every phase for the Lakers tonight, but they made it look that way by the way they responded to adversity, responded to things not going well, and made things happen when it counted.
And let's be honest, there wasn't total anarchy on the sidelines tonight. Maybe I'm being
Also
a little overdramatic about what happened last week, but there was a lot of arguing amongst the players. There was problems. There was blame. You know, there was the kind of things that comes out of some players that maybe just, you know, maybe their egos were getting a little out of check and they weren't thinking about who they were, who they were representing, and what being on a team is all about. Well, they know that now. If they didn't, they learned that lesson, and I think anyone that needs to learn that lesson won't find themselves on the football field for this team, and they'll have to figure that out, and then they'll be back. So I think that that's all I got to say about this one tonight. I think that says the whole thing, and hopefully this is a great experience. You never want to lose in the way we lost to Adams last week, but if that had to happen, maybe it was for the good of the team and the program and the longevity of the team. Let's move on now. Play Oxford next week here at home. Make that a special night for the community. Get over to Southfield A&T, beat them, and then position ourselves with the last couple of regular season games for a postseason run. And let's see where this thing could take us. If that's the way it goes, then that loss to Adams won't be that big of a deal. And the way things will line up, it's very likely we're going to have to play them or Clarkston or one of these teams that we really mixed it up with before it's all over, and before we end this campaign this year. So a lot ahead of us, a lot of good. Lakers only have one loss, and they're in a really good position to continue to march forward to postseason play. My final thought here tonight, Tyler, is another big nod to the community and the fans. This was a huge turnout. This is like going to a Tiger or a Lions game now, or a Michigan or Michigan State game. The parking lot is still unloading here at West Bloomfield High School. We had 2,500 at least here tonight, and we've been doing that every home game. I've never seen this kind of turnout for regular season football. It'll only get better as the season goes on. Maybe the nice weather has been a bit of a contributing factor, but I think it's the football, the community, the growth of the program, and the excitement of the product on the field that is contributing to all these people turning out for Laker football. We salute you, the people that came from out of the community. Thank you for tuning in on your way home, and thanks for coming to our games. And don't miss this. This is the best ticket in town. Laker football on Friday nights at West Bloomfield High School, and even better on homecoming.
Yeah, a great performance tonight for West Bloomfield, taking back really the identity of this team and coming together as a team in the way that they absolutely needed to get through that adversity and really refocus forward for the rest of the season and show themselves what they're capable of doing when they come together as a team and they play their style of football. And of course, now a little bit more of a three-way race at the top of the OAA Red after Rochester Adams defeated Oxford tonight 33-7. Clarkston defeating Stony Creek 28-14. So now three-way tie instead of a four-way tie at the top of the OAA Red division. Lakers and Adams both 5-1 overall, 3-1 in the OAA Red, and Clarkston improving to 4-2 overall, 3-1 in the Red division.
All right, well, it's shaping up for a really interesting remainder of the season, but it's week by week, and it happens here next Friday night with Oxford coming to town. So thank you very much for tuning in. Great night, great rebound for the Lakers. Tyler, really good job tonight. I want to thank John Atwater, our video director, doing an incredible job, and Matt and Dom Catoni. Oh, my goodness, they have it down. Our cameramen and our technicians have nailed it. And are doing a great job. Of course, Calvin and the team back making everything happen. And Jared, how can I forget Jared? Calvin and Jared and Eugene and everybody making things work back at the studios. You guys, beautiful work. Thank you for getting us on the air tonight. And to the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission. And, of course, the Orchard Mall, Premier Pet Supplies, the Michigan Week Committee, and, of course,
Ken and Deb Macon, Dave.
I can't read my notes, of course. Ken and Deb Macon.
Yep.
How can I forget that? How embarrassing. I hope they're not listening at the end of the broadcast. Sorry about the dead
Just
air.
a little delay there in the broadcast. That wasn't a pause.
Oh, man. All right.
Come
It's been a
Don't
long
blame
night.
yourself for
All
that. That's
right.
technology,
Tyler
Dave.
Keefe, good job. Don't forget, Tyler Keefe will be right next door on Sunday at noon. The open house live broadcast at the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Bring the kids. Should be a lot of fun, and we'll see you back here with the whole crew next Friday night. Final score tonight, your West Bloomfield Lakers 41, Lake Orion 14. Good night, everybody.